Huh.
Alright, when we're finally live, I know we are 2 overs into the game, but like they say, better late than ever. Everyone, welcome to Combox. We've got Robbie and Deepak, sir. I don't know if I should say sir. For some reason, after having heard Shravan so many times, I also instinctively just added sir to it. But we've got Deepak and Robbie joining us, like always. Hello,
Hey,
folks.
Kumara, don't call him sir and all. He's
Yes,
a
I'm young.
youngster.
I'm a youngster.
Yes.
I'm
That brought
getting
me back my
younger
school
day by day.
days.
And
The way
also,
Robbie addressed me.
you should know that today is Deepak sir's birthday.
Oh my
Deepak
word.
sir,
Robbie, you
I've
could have
turned.
at
please
least given me a
join
heads
all
up
of
before
us
the stream
in.
began.
Please join all of us in wishing Deepak a very happy birthday.
Thanks, bro. Thanks.
Happy birthday,
So,
Deepak. Are you happy with the fact that you're celebrating your birthday on a stream with Robbie and myself?
yes. Look, I would not have even dreamt of such a thing 6 months back. So now, just imagine. It's
Chalo,
like
yeah.
almost like visiting some amazing place. I think only that, even that would not have been able to top this, I would say. So, honor,
That's
definitely an honor.
that's high praise. I mean, I know that none of it is directed towards me, but I'll still take that shamelessly, of course. We've, we've lost a wicket in the meantime. The game's up and running. Sai Sudarshan has played
Yes.
one on off Mukesh Kumar. Folks, you can see me wearing
Yes.
the Delhi Capitals jersey. So rest assured, you know where my loyalties lie, at least for tonight, for the next 24 hours before the next game begins and I switch loyalties once again. But Robbie, thoughts on the game so far? Not necessarily the 2 overs, but Delhi have won the toss, opted to bowl first. No changes from Gujarat Titans. Something we've spoken about time and time again, you know, across their previous games. That 11, that batting lineup in particular, inspiring confidence right now.
Well, yeah, man, and I think they play it slightly differently, but I think them going with the same 11 tells you the kind of conviction and the backing they're giving their players. So I think it's a good start. I would go with the same 11 even if I were Gujarat. I wouldn't change. Like I'm not someone who likes like generally you don't want to change a side, and you don't be reactive in the start of the IPL. You want to give people a good run, 3, 4, 5 games, and then you want to make any kind of changes that you want to make. So that's how I would look at it. I think even Delhi is also looking good, right? They also haven't made any changes, or have they?
Nope,
No. I
unchanged,
think they've gone.
unchanged.
They've gone with the same team, and
Yeah.
Mukesh, for that matter, has been taking new ball wickets quite consistently now
Exactly.
in
I
this
mean,
IPL.
I've been bullish on Mukesh Kumar for a while now. Happy to see him do well this time around. And that bowling
Yes,
attack in general, even in Stark's absence, hasn't done too badly at all this time.
they look like the best
Yeah.
bowling attack so far, I would say.
Wow. But again, Deepak, when we talk about Gujarat Titans as well, we've spoken about their bowling attack too. Sai Kishore, yeah, matlab, nowhere to be seen. They've included Manav Suthar today in the impact subs, but no Sai Kishore. Like, what do you make of that?
Yes,
Is he
little
injured?
baffling.
I'm quite surprised.
Yeah, I need to check.
Little,
Is there,
very baffling, bro.
because
Very
uh,
baffling that if he's not there.
let me check if there's any injury update on him because that
No.
doesn't make any sense, to be honest.
There's been no injury update, that's for sure. I don't know if they haven't sort of informed, you know, I don't know, whoever they have to inform, but bahar to kuch nahi aaya. There's no official confirmation from them. And what makes it even more baffling is the fact that maybe they didn't want to look at spinners on the surfaces that they played previously. They played in Guwahati, if I'm not wrong, versus Rajasthan. They played in Chandigarh versus Punjab. So you could probably make an argument that they wanted to focus on bringing in their pacers. But if you are going for a Manav Suthar, it does mean that you want a spinner in. And if you don't want someone like a Sai Kishore, unless there is an injury concern like Robbie and Deepak have mentioned, yeah, it's hard to understand why. Because Jayant Yadav is also part of the impact subs, by the way. So they've included 2 spin options, but Sai Kishore isn't one of them. So yeah, not easy for sure. And by the way, folks, for what it's worth, I did watch the RCB CSK game from the Chinnis farm. So that was an interesting experience for me this week. And I had a
What
lot
was
of
that like?
questions.
Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy. I taken my girlfriend there. It was her first ever match at the stadium. And she
Nice.
couldn't. Her mind was blown by the fact that it's not the batters who change ends at the end of every over. She was like, "I've lived a life my entire life." she
The,
she couldn't process it.
to be
She thought cricket
and
was played with
it's
one end.
Exactly,
yes.
and she just kept asking me after every over, why is the entire field changing? Can't just these two batters change? Like, why does this make sense? Why doesn't this make sense? I had to sit and try and explain, of course, as much as I could to someone who knows absolutely nothing about cricket. She was
Was
there
she
to
the, was
watch it
she the
out.
one? Was that meme of you and her where she was supporting RCB and you were supporting CSK and then you were getting scolded by her? Or
As as much as I've
you
told
saw
that
that
I've
one?
sobered down, yeah, I did see that meme, and as much as I have sobered down from my RCB fandom, I don't think I'd be wearing a CSK jersey at the Chinnaswamy just because of all the flack I would get. Simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Amazing shot.
Yep.
So finally, I think like Butler,
Oh,
at least
Yeah.
you saw that? I think
Very
KL's
well played.
gotten a really
Oh,
bad one.
haven't seen that yet. By the way, even in terms of strike rates, I was reading this earlier today. GT's top three, all of them feature in the far end, in the wrong end of the list of batters, with the lowest strike rates in the power play. All three of them, I mean, yeah, lowest strike rates, matlab top mein honge, best strike rates mein on the wrong end of it, unfortunately. They all have strike rates of 140. Again, not too bad at all. But when you
whoa,
compare
whoa,
to
whoa.
where the league has gone, ooh, that looks bad. That does look bad.
That looks bad. Yes.
Jeez.
KL
Deepak,
somehow
what feed was
has
on, dude?
Geo Hotstar.
Yep. Well and truly behind, that's for sure. And I think Hotstar, the app is even behind the browser. If you use it on your browser, it's a lot further. Matlab, the
It's
speed's a lot
faster.
quicker. Yeah. I should probably just do that.
Somehow KL is having a real rough start to this current IPL.
That's true. That's true, actually. Let's just see. But Robbie,
Look,
about this. Sorry, yeah, go Deepa, go.
no, I was just kind of wondering, like, continuing with that same discussion. So even Butler, after all the exploits of all these years, even he's also on the wrong end of the spectrum.
Last
I'm kind.
last 2 years. Last 2 years.
Oh, last 2 years. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
definitely. And while I agree with what Robbie said, that is their strategy. They planned. This is what they signed up for. At the mega auction. What do you make of it? Sure, it is something that they wanted and they set out to achieve. But do you agree with what they've gone ahead with, considering where the rest of the teams are at in terms of maximizing the power play, scoring more sixes, attacking bowlers, and GT have been as contrarian as it gets when it comes to their batting approach. Like, what do you make of that strategy itself?
Who are you
Like,
asking?
Both of you, anyone can
Deepak.
go for it.
like for
Deepak.
me to be honest, look, we saw that contrarian uh, style of play in the yesterday's match also, right? Those two youngsters, the way they were clobbering, even though with Rickelton and Rohit opening for Mumbai, with all due respect, Rickelton to kind of replicate what these two kids can do would be, I think, little bit of an exaggeration. And Rohit, even with his, I would say, high intent game, it is not something which comes naturally to him, where he would be like hitting 13 ball, 14 ball, 50s of. So Akshay, you're on mute. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was just, yeah.
yeah. So the that ways, I think if GT is also kind of sticking to that template where the world has moved to a completely different direction altogether. If you talk about the likes of Travis Sheikh, you talk about the Surya Vanshis of the world, even Priyan Charya, I think post the 2024 IPL in the last couple of years, a lot of these teams are pretty intent heavy at the top. So and uh, and then there are teams like RCB who have also been able to build a pretty well-rounded team around it. Like they start quickly, but they back it up, and they have quality batters in the middle also. Like the 4, 5, 6, even one of them would come through a good on a given day is good enough to take them to a above par total. And if two of them
Or if we
click,
can get
it is.
we can get Butler to play like this in every game, will be more than enough.
Hmm.
Like he's hit a
Yeah,
six
But
and a
between the
four
two,
right now.
yeah. But what do you think is a more sustainable approach? Expecting, one of your top three to keep being able to accelerate or switch gears every game. Do you think that is a more sustainable approach, or something that maybe a Punjab or an RCB have done in terms of backloading and ensuring that they've got enough firepower and muscle even down the order? Like in the long term across the tournament, what do you think would probably lead to more positive results for the side? Again, personal thoughts, of
So
course.
even from 2 years ago, right? Like even from 2 years ago, and like we can ask our our whoever's watching this live to even share their opinions. Like even from the last 2 years ago, the game's evolved, right? Even till 2 years ago, you could say that okay, you can have one opener who plays a like at 135, 135 strike rate, like how I used to play. Like when I opened the batting, I played at 130, 135 strike rate. 140, between 30 and 40, 130 and 40 is what I used to play. And then till I played till 22, that was acceptable. Now 23, 24, 25, 26, it has moved. It's moved to what's actually going on right now with Travis Shake and all these people playing super hyper aggressive cricket. Now, can this approach still exist? Is there room for that? Do you need an anchor kind of opening kind of slot? I don't know. Maybe one player at number 3 you can have. Like today, the Sai Sudarshan version of an opener, the Shubman Gill version of an opener, Ruturaj Gaikwad kind of an opener is fading away. Right today, even a Virat has upped his strike rate from a 130 to a 150 when he's opening the batting. Right, so that evolution needs to happen because that's the new norm, at least for the openers. These guys are slowly stitching up a pretty decent partnership here, which is nice to
Yes.
see, which is important.
And
But yeah,
even in
I think this is something that I think this is something that is where the game is evolving towards. So you need to evolve towards that as well.
yes. So even
In
in the
fact,
last match with RCB, would have seen that out of 18 balls, Virat played 14 attacking shots.
yeah.
So that's not something you associate with him on a regular basis. On a surface which was a little tacky, it had something in it for the bowlers, and I think it was one of the worst control percentage from him. But still, he was going hard, which was just never the case
Now,
earlier with teams.
even let's look at why people are playing cricket this way, where it's hyper aggressive at the top. What are the benefits, the pros and cons of it, right? What are the cons of it? One is you lose too many wickets early. That can be a con. Another, ramp,
Short.
which is practically like the founder of the modern ramp, right? Joss,
Yes.
who plays it so well. Um, the pros of it, the cons of it is you lose too many wickets early. It's high risk, right? So you can lose a lot of wickets early. But what are the pros of it? The pros of it are if it comes off, if you're able to get 65, 70 in the first 6 overs, right? It takes a lot of pressure off in the middle overs. And if you can amp the middle over 7 to 12 up, if you can amp that period up where you can go at 9 to 10 runs an over in that period, an average 9, 10 runs an over, dude, you've actually made it so much simpler for the middle order to go at 200 strike rate. You know, and that is a huge value addition.
Oh,
Oof! Did you guys see that shot? Oh,
yes.
have some of that.
That's
Second tier
insane.
6 at the Kotla. What a
I think
shot,
Butler
man!
has heard us now. He kind of was listening to our conversation. He's gone to another mode altogether.
That is a
One person
proper
who
shot.
has. I'm still waiting for the wall to happen. That's how far. Finally, oh my word. Okay, he's really got into that. Oh, jeez.
It's
So
such a
yeah,
happy
continue,
hunting
Rob. You were
ground. No, for
saying.
Josh, because Josh got 100 here also in the past for
Yep,
RR.
that's true.
It's a
Oh,
very happy hunting ground for him in Delhi.
Yeah.
So he scored
nice.
runs here. So there, 4 overs, 52. Now if they can make that a 70-run power play, 75-run power play, puts their middle order in such good stead, right? And then that 7 to 12 overs, how that goes. If it's an 8-run per over kind of a thing, they're almost kind of missing out the advantage they've grasped in the first 6 overs. So it's not
And
just the power play now. It's also the first 3 wickets. How many runs?
Oh,
Oof! What a shot that is. It's how many runs can you get the first 3 wickets
got
in
it,
the
got it.
first 12 overs? If you can get 120, 130 in the first 12 overs,
hmm.
you can get so much
Rob,
more
like,
in the next 7, 9, 7, 8, 9.
one philosophy that Rob Barron gave, and I really kind of liked it. Like, consider the scenario where GT is maybe like what 100 for one, or maybe 110 for one in 10 overs, 11 overs. Why not kind of maximize somebody like Rashid Khan, give him a free license, get 8 ball 30 for us, because he is somebody who can start hitting sixes from the first ball itself. And then you can just push the envelope as far as the totals are concerned. Because last year, the template that GT was following, they were kind of just going par, and somehow their bowling was good enough to kind of lock in for them. Even while chasing, they always had to chase subpar or at max par totals, because they were always saving those 10, 15 critical runs. But if they could actually unlock somebody like Rashid, who is a six hitter, who could actually start hitting these sixes from ball one, we've seen that in the past. And even if he fails, that's not going to change much for them. So how good a tactic it can be. Like, this is what Rob
But Shahrukh and all is
Barron
there for that
spearheaded.
only. No, Shahrukh is there for that kind of hitting only, right?
Hmm. But can he
Even
start?
Tewatia
Do
for
you
that matter.
do you want to unlock Rashid Khan there?
Uh, this is
I
what I
think
wanted to
the
basically hear from you, considering that Tavitya takes some time. You've already played with him, but he takes little time to get
Holy
going.
crap, guys!
Boy,
What? Wait for this shot.
he has made a mockery of this over already.
and
So,
there's
what is
nothing
your
really
take on
happening
this?
right now on the surface. Sorry, Robbie, is he there? Or just voice is
I'm here.
gone right
God
now?
mode, bro. God mode. I'm here.
Perfect, perfect. Just one thing to add before Robbie adds to it. I feel where Rashid would probably be more effective than Shahrukh is that Rashid, the batter, is a lot more dispensable to the side, if that makes sense. Shahrukh is still a batter at the end of the day, so you would want him
Yes,
to be there. So if Rashid gets out for a two-ball duck instead of that 8 ball 30, they hope for him to be able to come up with. GT wouldn't lose out on much. But if Shahrukh gets out,
exactly.
then it would probably put a lot more pressure on Rashid, who, again, this is me trying to theorize or speculate. I'm not saying that this is the case. What do you make of that?
So the thing is with Shahrukh, right? I'd love to get a insight on his numbers in the last couple of years. What are his numbers at the position that he's batting at? Like if his
23
numbers are,
average, 175 strike rate.
see, photographic memory coming to the fore here. Deepak, your little bit of background noise is there from your mic.
Yeah, because I'm
Um,
not using the headphones now. I was asking this. I'm not in the
yeah,
setup.
yeah.
I'm not in the studio.
You're not in the studio. You don't have other mic earphones with you.
Nothing with me right now. I have to search for it.
That's fine. It's fine.
This-
Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll manage. Because anyway, birthday boy is going out in a few minutes, so he'll be with us for some time, then leave. So it's okay. It's fine. So if those are the kind of numbers he's got, right? Then it's like I'd rather. Would you rather send what numbers is he batting at now? 4.
Five or six, because four was with
Yeah.
Rutherford, no?
He was supposed to be the number four. Then yeah, Rutherford, Glenn Phillips came in, so now he's once again been brought down to number five, number six. That's his role.
He's not even at number five, because Washi is at number five, so he's more at number six with the
Yeah,
current team.
correct, correct, true.
Yeah.
That's what makes it more difficult for someone like a Shahrukh as well. I mean, while I get a lot of people saying that Shahrukh hasn't really come good in the IPL. The truth is also that he's not really gotten a consistent enough run at any single position. Like probably Punjab Kings, one might argue that he did get some sort of a chance, but again, it's the way I look at it, especially having had so many discussions about this with a lot of folks who are a part of the space, for Indian players coming in and locking that finisher's role, it's so much more harder than say an opener or a middle order batter. It's just given of how high risk, high reward that approach is. So do you think there's somewhere once again merit in Shahrukh being promoted up the order? We remember the first time he batted at number 4 for Gujarat Titans, he scored a 50 versus RCB in
See,
Ahmedabad.
this
So
is a
yeah,
the Akshay. The thing is, no, with stuff like this, you got to be really clear to with your. That's another nice shot tucked away. 2 dot balls, and then another boundary here. 67. They move up to 5.3. At 70 figures what they want to be getting at by the end of this over. But the thing is, see, with you need to have absolute clarity. with role definition before a season, right? Because your preparation is going to count to the amount of success you're going to have through the course of an IPL, right? So if his role is going to be a floater role, then expect less consistency from a floater, right? You can expect more staggered kind of performances, but then you need to back a floater through and through. So I'd love a, like, say for an example, who I would see would be primed to be a floater in this IPL would be an Ajinkya Rahane, because Aju's game right now is impeccable to the fast bowlers, but is found wanting to the spinners a little bit, right? So I would find a way to put Seifert in, because today, uh, um, Seifert in instead of Green for me, because Green is only batting for you, is not bowling for you. So for me, I'd bring Seifert in with Finn Allen. I'd have a Suryavanshi at 3, so that the aggressive intent keeps going. Post which I would actually have, if 2 wickets fell early, then I'd have a Ajinkya at 4. If not, I would use him more as a finisher at the death, right? So for me, if you want to define a role like that for someone like an Ajinkya to maximize his abilities, right? So you either come in at 4 where you can absorb the pressure and you can still play it at 130 strike rate, right? And then look to accelerate to maybe a 160, 170 when you're finishing. This has been a top over
Engidi.
from Ingidi. He has been so good, man. From that World Cup, has
Insane.
been very quiet, and I love the fact that he flies under the radar. But he just such a strong performer, such a great buy from DC. This one in Ingidi, and just reduced their, that over, got hit for a 4, and still went on to bowl 3 more like dipping slower balls
Yes.
to finish the over. Just 5 runs in the over. It's top over. Uh, so yeah, so I think Shahrukh, the communication's got to be very critical.
And that's actually a very valid point. This is something which I've understood after having interactions with you. Because if you're a floater, the margin for error has to be a lot bigger, because the role clarity is so important when it comes to like batting, in that too in such high intent scenarios where, like, you're number 4 at one point of time, you're kind of uh, building it up again after the collapse at number 5 or maybe number 6. And certain times, all those efforts are not even kind of considered, like when you are looking at the overall numbers, because the current numbers also, the guy is almost giving you 12 ball, 22, 23 every match. So this is the kind of numbers he's doing, which is fantabulous, to be honest. But still, he just flies under the radar. If I would not have looked at his numbers, I would have still not justified his position in the team. And now, with the floater role and everything keeping in mind, and still having that kind of impact, is massive. This is something which I've understood after having interactions with Robbie, because he's gone through that thing in his real life, so he associates with that.
Robbie, but another sort of question to that. You spoke about how Rahane would probably be a lot more, suited to being a floater just because of, his strength versus pace compared to his strength versus spin. This is something a couple of years ago people were talking about Kohli as well, where just given his superlative game versus pace compared to his game versus spin, where he was being repeatedly tied down, why not push him down the order, use him at number 5, number 6, and then unlock his game versus pace, let him only face pace? But do you think players who are like who've played a certain way, like Rahane has been a top order batter all his life, now all of a sudden if he's expected to play that floaters role, which like you only said is very difficult because you don't know what to expect. One day you might be sent up the order, one day you might be expected to wait, for your time in the middle. Do you think you can expect, especially names, for the lack of a better word, such big names to be open to the idea of being a floater or flexible enough?
Uh, See, that's the role of a coach, right? Coach and a captain need to have role clarity at the top of the season, right? And have a contingent kind of plan B, where, like, a contingency plan where you can say, okay, this is the primary role. If this doesn't work, you move to the secondary role, because we need to because all these roles and performances must result in success, right? That's essentially why you're playing. You're playing to win. Now, uh, if and that needs to be agreed upon before the fact, right? And before the fact the tournament begins. And if that's not there, then then your preparation is not there for those roles. And a lack of preparation is lack of planning to succeed, right? And because you need to individually success because you're a primary piece in the playing 11, you know um,
I'm
a
just
lot of
trying to look.
I'm just looking at the comments today of everything
Same,
that's coming
same.
through, right? And I'm just looking at people saying he will not be a floater. He should float out of the IPL now. Like it's so easy to say, like just sit and type these things out, right? But you have to understand that this is bread and butter, man, for them. This is what puts food on the table for the family. And yes, you can be unemotional about it, but you can't expect the players to be unemotional about it, because if this ends for Ajinkya, what does he play for, right? This will be a primary motivation for him to even play cricket, and he's a true great of the game. So how do you help him navigate through this place where, if there is a chance he can extend his career, extend his provision for his family over the next couple of years, he should. um, and I agree, he should do the same thing that he did for CSK, and that's why the top of the order role for me, instead of opening, batting at number 3 or 4 is a better idea than opening the batting, because opening the batting is not helping. It's not helping KKR.
Meanwhile, what's helping GT is Butler, 24 ball 50 for him. Fantastic start for GT, something we've been speaking about time and time again.
Short.
But again, about that conversation, Robbie, I completely understand where you're coming from because you've lived that. It's a lived
I'll just
reality
head
for you
off.
as a cricketer.
I'll try to reconnect later.
Well, happy
Okay.
birthday,
Nice
Deepak.
Happy
talking to
birthday, boy.
Have a great birthday dinner for
you.
sure.
First
Thursday.
umpire. Bye.
Bye, bye,
Thank you.
bye,
Thanks a
bye.
lot,
Yeah,
Kurno. Thanks a lot, bro.
yeah, bye.
Bye.
But yeah, Robbie, for you, it is a lived reality, right? You know what it's like to be a cricketer, and for us, that's not the case. For us, it's just at the end of the day, it is someone we watch on screens, someone we either support because he's a part of our team, or someone we troll because he isn't a part of our favorite team. Knowing that, and this is something I really wanted to ask because Adit Chinnaswamy the other day, I couldn't help but, think of all the noise I was surrounding, especially fans near the stands. As outfielders, you keep hearing all of this. As much as you want to, shut off all noise, there's no way on earth you're not hearing that. How do you tune out? How do you still manage to focus and keep your attention to the ball, to the events that's actually happening in front of you?
You get used to it after a point, Akshay. You get used to being able to shut the noise out and just focus on the, like, each ball is like an event. So you kind of focus on the event that's happening at that point in time, and then you switch off and then switch back on. And cricketers are used to switching off and switching on to maintain and manage their intensity during the course of the game. I'd love to kind of respond to a few of the comments that is coming through, right? Um,
Let's take a few. Let's
uh,
take a few for sure.
Jumpsuit is
I,
saying, I don't want any loss to his income from his personal point of view. Sports is just like is just meritocratic at the end of the day. I absolutely agree with you on that. It is meritocratic and has to be. But is there a way someone like Ajinkya still has utility in the IPL? Of course he does. Again, depends. If he was in the more experienced team, I'm telling you, his utility would be so high. Given the kind of team that he has right now, how do we find utility for a player like him, is what, or create that utility for him, is what is going to be critical, right? And that's the thing that you need to find for a player like him. um uh, yeah, man, I can come, but they should call also. No, I'm very happy to come and do anything.
I'd love to see Robbie
uh,
just gate crashing the CSK dressing room. Yeah, I'm here. Fans wanted me, so here I am.
yeah. There's another kid, singer, who said, singer 14 said he commentates and hosts cricket bus shows and earns almost the same, if not more. Could also join Combox. So there's a wicket here, guys. Kuldeep Yadav is struck in this first over. I think he's gotten Joss Butler out. Yep, there is Joss Butler. I think he got him bowled through the gates, slightly back
And
of a length. Try to whip it through the leg side. And the flipper didn't bounce, obviously.
didn't bounce, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Kotla being Kotla is not going to have too much bounce anyway. And then missed it completely. Big
After
wicket.
having seen
Again, this is something that that is worrisome for DC, sorry, GT here, because here you can just see that the likes of Shubman being 13 of 11, um, has put pressure on the onus on Josh to play shots. Now, the power play, he single-handedly took GT to a place where they got off to a flyer. Now is
Yeah.
when Shubman should have played a little bit more high risk, where you should have told him, you just ebb your flow a little bit and then up the ante a little bit more as you feel deemed fit. Let me play the high risk cricket right now. You know, uh, but yeah, that's what's going to happen. The middle over is going to be critical. They got 9, I think, in the previous over, 9 or 10. They've only got 3 balls up. They've got, I think, 2 runs.
I mean, about
Yeah,
the whole change in intent that we were talking about, like, I do have this chart. I don't think we can show it here. I can probably put it on the group so that Robbie can also just have a look. In terms of how the last 3 seasons, people talk about impact player and 2023 being that watershed moment, after which intent's really gone up a notch. But the last 3 seasons in particular, 24, 25, and 26, let me just try and share it over here if possible. Yeah,
share it,
it's
share
just
it. Let me
gone
have a
through.
look.
Yeah, it's just gone through the roof. So then this one is basically a chart between boundary percentage and non-boundary strike rate, just to see how much batters have started targeting boundaries compared to taking singles and doubles. The common sort of narrative is that people have stopped looking at singles and doubles and they're only focusing on boundaries. I feel I would probably just go one step further and say people have stopped focus. Like, the idea of playing a dot is now looked at as taboo. You just can't play dots. You're either trying to rotate strike, either trying to milk those singles and doubles. You see the non-boundary strike rate. A rule of thumb is if you are an attacking batter, your boundary percentage goes up, your non-boundary strike rate is slightly lower because you end up playing a few more dots. That's not the case anymore. No, gone are the days where you sort of 6-1. That also doesn't happen. It's 6-6-6-6-6-6. That's the focus always. What do you think of that? Like the graphs over here in the group, if you can see that, Robbie. I have
So
another
the
one if
boundary
not.
percentage has obviously, the boundary percentage has already obviously gone up, right? And with the boundary percentage, if you look at 1 second, bro, my son's asking me something. What is it, Papa?
No worries. No worries.
Take. Yeah,
Ooh,
last
that's a
one.
lovely straight drive from Washi, by the
Yeah,
way, who
very
gets
very cool
off.
speed
Yeah.
drive.
Yep. He's really, yeah, he's in dire needs for a fantastic knock. I hope today is the day because he's been receiving a lot of flags, some right, some wrong. But yeah, he needs a good knock under the belt to just get that confidence and get those competitive juices flowing right now.
Mm. Yeah, I'm just looking at the boundary percentages, right? Last year was also pretty high. Non-boundary percentages also. Uh, how you split this up? Explain this chart to me.
Yeah, so basically, boundary percentage is sort of right word. So if anything at the rightmost has the highest boundary percentage, so 24, 25, 26, all three have the highest boundary percentages. No surprises in that. When you look at non-boundary strike rate, so the higher you are in the chart, the better your non-boundary strike rate. So there as well, 24, 25, they rank fairly high. It's not like people are playing a lot more dots or people aren't taking enough singles and doubles and triples for that matter anymore. That's not the case. If you compare it with, say, a 2014, 17, 21, even 22 for that matter, just see the jump from 22 to 23, 24, 25, 26. Both these numbers have gone up. That's the consistent trend. It's not just boundaries that have gone up, it's just run scoring in general. What's gone down is dots. So I guess that's become a primary focus. If you, I don't know if you had a chance to see this video that RCB had released. Of course, we will all take it with a pinch of salt because all of these auction planning videos are edited and sort of it suits a certain narrative. But while talking about
Mm.
batters, their primary focus was on how many runs can they give me off and over. I don't want them playing dots. Phil Salt, if I remember that stat correctly, 60% of the times Phil Salt scores 12 runs or in an over where he hits a boundary, he ends up scoring 12 runs or more in that over. 60% of the times. That's a ridiculous stat, and that's something that only modern day cricket has brought into.
Well, it has, and I think when I'm still looking at your charts, and it's a great observation, man. And you look at the last time people took, 7.5 or 8, 7.5 balls per boundary was back in 2008. So clearly, it's such an interesting fact, eh? Such an
Yeah.
interesting stat, right?
In fact,
And
just to add to that, a very interesting observation there was for the first decade, the highest boundary scored was in 2008. It's almost like 2008, everyone went crash bag and wallop. And after that, everyone was like, yeah, probably this is not how we want to play. Let's take a step back and
Yeah.
aram se single double lead. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, yeah. So again, 24, 25, 26 tells you that it's become more a power based game than a skill based one, and I think cricket's evolved to that at this point in time. It's a nice shot that from Shubman, but still get only a single. He's batting on 90, 95 strike rate right now, 98 strike
Yep.
rate right now, and that needs to change. Um, they got an
Just
8
in
run
that
over.
one.
They got a 9 run over. Um,
Two so far of this. Make that
yeah.
three, yeah.
Yeah. So they need to fix that up. They need to fix that. They need at least one 17, 18, 19 run over in the power play. Sorry,
Yep,
in outside the
yep.
power play now in this middle phase. Now, the game has become more, has evolved, become more aggressive, right? And I feel like rightfully so because we've seen how much more entertaining it is. Which is what I think also make bowlers stand out, so to speak. I think with bowlers as well, the guys who turn up right now will be absolute world beaters, right? Those match winners. Um,
True.
um, you see that they have to have immense amount of conviction in their own abilities, and we'll find bowlers like that. Like I think Nattu is one of those bowlers who's got the ability to kind of
For sure.
shut it down with his variations and his skills. And he's done that in this over. He's given only 4 runs away in this over. Um,
And
5 runs
good
away
to
in that
see
over.
him.
It's a
Yeah, good to see him
solid
being
over.
brought in also earlier. Like versus Mumbai,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
waited till the 12th,
yeah,
13th over where they sort of backloaded him completely. Once again, you need to
yeah.
have that flexibility wherein based on the opposition, based on the kind of surface you're playing on, instead of being too rigid, yeah, he's a death over specialist. Let's only focus and on the back end. That can't be how it works. Meanwhile, I can't help but blush on what Singer has to say about Robbie. He says, by the way, Robbie, my girlfriend was watching Combox with me and she's very jealous of your eyelashes. She says it's not fair for men to have such pretty eyelashes. Any grooming tips that you have then for probably Singer himself?
It's just natural, bro. What do I do? Singer's girlfriend. What do I do?
Way to
Castor oil
flex,
works
way to
apparently.
flex.
If you have castor oil with an eyelash brush, I've seen friends use that. um, I've heard that
Interesting,
from my wife as well.
interesting.
Finally, a big shot from Shubman Gill gets a 6 off the first ball of the 10th over to Kuldeep. Much needed. He needs to up the ante here, take pressure off the batters at the other end so that they can settle in a little bit. He also has to be vigilant about being aggressive, but holding one end up as well. Because once Washi gets set, then he can also go after the bowling.
And this is something we have observed with Kuldeep, even versus Mumbai. He was erring a bit too much on the straighter side, bowling on the leg stump, sometimes outside leg stump. Once again, this ball was on the leg stump, was there to be slog swept. Boy, that was a good
Yeah.
shot there, man.
I'll tell you what, the next ball is going to be back of a length flipper. Force him to play on the back foot.
I can see, matlab, yeah, it's a very popular defensive choice, right? For Kuldeep as well. Just to quick dart one and across Gill.
Watch it.
When he's there, I want to see this. I'm curious. Let's see if Robbie gets that right. I'm way too behind in this team. That's what's upsetting me. Like I can't believe Geo Hotstar's doing me dirty so badly. Right, let's see. Running in. Chalo, come on, Kuldeep. You got that in you. Oh. Back of a length for sure. And exactly, probably the speed not as quick as I imagined it to be. I really thought he'll dart one in, back of a length across, just to try and get Gill off strike and bowl a bit more to Nattu. It's that way in terms of
Washi.
defensive.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
so
Sorry, come on.
it's obvious, right? Because when you look at when you look at the first ball going for 6, you look at Kuldeep as a bowler and you start assessing, okay, what are his go-to deliveries to be more safe and to force the batter to play slightly higher risk cricket is the flipper, and he bowls from that lower trajectory so that the batter can't get under him. So it's the back of a length flipper on a track that's keeping low to him. He is something that he'll always go to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he's already gotten a wicket off that, right? That low bounce. He's already seen that work for him. So he would want to try and get a bit more out of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, some of the
Meanwhile,
guys
Mahat,
watching are talking about Nattu, about Knuckles talking about Nattu is not the most outrageously talented bowler, but he's solid 7 on 8 on 10 performance every game, and like also jumpsuit talking about Nattu was outrageous for some seasons, Yorker after Yorker. Why wasn't he outrageous after that? Because he went through a series of injuries that actually impacted his output in a game, and we don't, like, as fans and as viewers of the game, we don't consider that, and we don't consider how long it takes for a fast bowler to come back and bowl his full tilt over a period of time. It takes time. It's not an easy thing to do, and it takes a lot of time. So the fact that he's actually come back and bowling well immediately puts him in one of the best finishers of the game, like as far as bowling is concerned.
yeah, meanwhile, Kaushal Talpadi, that sounds like it's a very Mangalore sounding name. I don't know where is he from. Kaushal says, is playing in GT harming Gil's T20 game since they only have three batters, so they always have to play cautiously. India prefers attacking openers like Abhishek right now. Thoughts on
Kaushal,
that?
no one's asking. No one's asking. No one in GT is asking Gill to bat the way he's batting. He's batting that out of his own accord. He's the captain of the side. He can dictate how he wants to bat, and he's dictating how he wants to bat. The last ball of the over, if you saw, he just took a single so that he has strike on the in the following over. That ball he could have looked to play a little bit more aggressively, taking the like, because the last ball of the over, the ball is always under a little bit more pressure. He wants to finish the over well. He's already given a six in the first in the first ball of the over, so he wants to close the over out. That point is where you take a little bit more risk, right? And can you afford to take a little bit more risk when you've got 9 runs in over in the 13th over? If you ask me, 100% yes. Right? Sorry, not 13th over, then in the 11th over.
11th, yeah.
So you can take a little bit more risk. And now he's obviously going to take risk in the first ball of the over. He will get only a single on that.
Does Bumrah look a little off in his game? Asks Andy. Robbie, thoughts on yesterday's game and how Bumrah functioned?
I think I have to be very careful about saying anything about players nowadays, man. All these fan armies just get after me. I said something about Vaibhav when I was working for Star,
Okay.
and about his form, and what I've been observing about his batting, and I've never assumed or thought that he's not a great talent or a generational talent. I've always maintained that he's a generational talent. But I felt like in the first season, if you look at all the innings that he played in the first inning in the first season, there were a lot of edges that fell short of a fielder, that didn't go to the fielder's hand, and a lot of those things happened. And I felt like bowlers will be a lot more better prepared when they come up against him this season. But what I'm so impressed to see and notice. Can you hear me?
Yep. All good.
What I'm so impressed to notice has been the fact that he has come doubly prepared. Now a lot of youngsters come into the second season, don't come doubly prepared. They come riding on the form of their first season. And what has been super impressive about Vaibhav is that he's come back doubly prepared on all his aspects. It's not like his weakness still doesn't exist. It's there, but
Yeah.
his strengths have become so much stronger that the weaknesses aren't being attacked at, you know and so it I'm so happy genuinely to be eating humble pie, that he's doing so well right now, because, man, that kind of talent, you want to see them thrive, right? You want to see them succeed, and I'm so happy for him, dude. I'm extremely happy for him. So today, when a question comes about Bumrah and his form, I'm like, what do I say? Because I don't want Bumrah's fan army going after me unnecessarily. Because it's annoying, dude. Like, you don't want anyone to fail. And as a cricketer, I don't
Yeah.
want anybody to fail. Right? Having been there, done that in that realm, I know what it's like to fail. I know what it's like to succeed. And you don't want anyone to fail. But today, my thing about Bumrah is, I think he's a lot like Rashid Khan, right? Today, people know where Bumrah bowls. People know his strengths. People know his wicket-taking deliveries, so they're prepared. For example, the first six that Vaibhav hit to Bumrah, ball pitched up, and Vaibhav's game is such that his setup is game for the ball that's pitched up. and pitch back over length to pitch that full length is what he set up his game for. You know that the ball comes in that region, he is gonna pummel you, right? That ball was there for the taking. What is super impressive is the fact that the third ball that he faced of Bumrah, where he got a single of the next ball, and the third ball he faced of Bumrah, he anticipated the slower ball. So he measured his backlift in a way where he picked the slower ball, got under it, and hit it for a further bigger six than the first one. Right? That is what is impressive. Not the fact that he hit sixes. The fact that he was ahead of someone like Bumrah is what is super impressive. And the thing is, people know now when Bumrah goes under the pump, what is his go-to deliveries? His go-to delivery is a slower ball. Right? It's a wicket. It's such a strong defensive delivery that it takes a wicket as well sometimes, a lot of times. So today, when someone of Yashasvi's experience is able to get ahead of someone like Bumrah's, progeny and talent, to be able to get ahead of that and dispatch that strong defensive wicket-taking delivery for six, tells you the ability of Vaibhav and where he's at mentally and emotionally and physically with his game, which is amazing for a 15, 16-year-old. It's amazing. Incredible.
What's amazing is the fact that we're talking about Yashasvi Jaiswal being so experienced when the lad's just 24 years old. That's what blows my mind.
Yeah.
We're talking about a 15-year-old and a 24-year-old. Wait, they
But the
cumulatively...
game was young, no? Yash also
Yeah.
came in when he was 19, right? Or 18. 19.
18,
He's
I would
been there
imagine,
like
right after the 19 World Cup. Yeah.
2020. So this is 6th season. So yeah. So he's going to be around, for a little bit.
That's true. I mean, Robbie, how does that make you feel that, if I'm not wrong, they cumulatively are 39 years, 24 plus 15, probably younger than you? Does that make
Yeah.
you feel old enough? Or
Not at all.
just
Not at
kidding,
all.
just kidding.
The game has a way of making you feel old even at 24, bro.
Fair. That's true. I actually feel for Yashasvi that, at an age where he should be the one just taking all the risks and looking up to some experienced partner, he's had to sort of give a shoulder to Vaibhav and to walk him through the strides and everything. But yeah, good to see.
Short, much needed boundary.
Yeah.
This strike is going at about 150, I think.
Yep.
Washi hits another boundary to square leg.
And Nattu's over also. Nattu's over also went for just 9 runs, only one boundary coming off of it, that too off the bat to Washi. Not sure what exactly is happening with Gill, because it doesn't even feel like he's looking very scratchy. He's timing the ball, but for some reason he's content just going for the singles. Interesting to see.
We'll leave it at that. Vaishak asked us a question. Robbie, do you think T20 cricket today, with all the tactical role-based focus, is moving towards a model like modern football, where we see fewer larger-than-life superstars and more emphasis on team? Absolutely. I think that's also the narrative that someone like within Indian cricket, that's what even someone like Gautam Gambhir is trying to push, right? There will be stars in the game, right? Vaishak, but there will be it will be more team-based. And I think you will see those kind of performances also coming through. It's a no ball, free hit, and he's gotten a boundary on that no ball. So Vipraj's first over in 2 balls has gone for 9 runs. And Washi has been really decisive with his footwork. Something
Good
slightly short, he's climbed on it. Yeah, he's been really good. I think Washi is one of the most, like, people disagree with me. I think he's been one of the most evolved and like upskilled players in the last 4 or 5 years. Like, for a guy who was a bowler who could bat, to become a genuine all-rounder who can play aggressively, I think it takes a lot of effort and he's put in that work. So I'm only so happy for Washi to get this position. No ball, picked up the free hit and dispatched over mid-wicket, over the dugout for a 6.
Ooh, huge over already. That's 16 runs right now of the first 3 balls.
And that's what I said. You need that 16-run over within those 12 overs. You get one big over, and then that 10-run and over. Now we'll check the score out right now. Becomes a 11.5 run and over phase.
True.
But you need to get that 9-10, 9-10, 9-10 through and through, which they've got in this innings.
And hopefully this also eases the pressure off of Gill, and when
there
he
you go.
also starts
11.3 overs, 126.
So
even if they finish at 20 runs in this over, Singer, that's it's not form, it's pressure. He's got hit for a boundary in the first ball of the over, and so there's pressure on him. And then on top of that, he went and bowled a no ball put more pressure on him. So obviously he's going to get tight and not going to bowl freely and hit the right areas. That's where the batters need to capitalize on the pressure they put on the bowler.
Also, again, this is very much in hindsight, but do you think they probably was there a need to replace Kuldeep with Vipraj? I know Kuldeep himself wasn't bowling too great. They probably
Short.
saw that, but yeah, do you think that change was necessary right now at this point in time, given where the game was placed?
Yeah, because you want Kuldeep to bowl 2 overs in the middle, in the what the ICC calls the launch phase, right? The 14 to 16. You
Got
want him
it,
to
got
bowl.
it.
You want him to bowl a couple of overs there. It's a beautiful six from Shubman. Low full toss, obviously overcompensating
Half tracker.
for the short half trackers. Just
Hi
punch the
Ram.
ball. Sure timing.
Yeah,
Don't
good
worry.
shot.
Don't worry. I'll tell you who's going to score runs for DC today.
Nama Hudga.
KL's due, but
Exactly.
absolutely singer overcompensated Gale. But I think Nitish Rana will score runs today.
Ooh, he's also due,
Oh,
to be
finished off with a
honest.
great delivery. Yeah. Finally bowled a good delivery. It was an expensive over. Went for 6, 4, 4, no ball, 1, 1. 12, 20, 22, 23 runs
20.
in that over. And that took the score up to what? 12 overs, 130,
4.
134. How many runs
Yeah,
an over is that, buddy?
133. Yeah, 133, that's 11 and a half, give or take. Oh,
There you
no,
go.
11. Bang on
Exactly.
11. Yeah, yeah.
Right? 12. No, not 11, bro. Almost 11 and a half, I think. It's
12
12
11s
overs,
are
right? Not 13
132.
overs.
Yeah, slightly above 11 for
12
sure. Even
11s
point.
are, 12 11s are 130. Correct, correct, correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
Little
yeah.
bit more. Yeah.
So, yeah, yeah. There and thereabouts. But again, exactly like you were
Yes.
saying, now you've reached that 11 runs per over mark. From there, it becomes easier for you to, yeah, again, the launch phases keeps. I don't know if it's actually a good move by ICC or it's just sort of something that's stuck onto our heads. But it becomes easier for them to now. They have that launch pad from where they can
So
start
now is
trying to
where,
build on.
now is where the middle order has a uh, lot more cushion to go out and play really aggressive cricket. Like now would be a great time, according to me, would be a great time to send a Rashid Khan to just go there and smash it, or a Shahrukh to just go there and smash it.
Yeah. But knowing Ashu Paji, he'll do the exact opposite of that and stick to his,
Yeah, Kuldeep's back
previous
again.
sided
Your friend's
lineup.
back again.
All right. Change of ends that means for him because he was bowling from the other end and now they've brought
So
him back over here. Yeah.
it can be as simple as, hey, the previous over went for too many. I want to bring in my main bowler to bring the run rate down a bit.
Could
It
be.
could just
Could
be
be.
as simple
That's
as that. Maybe he would have been used later, but the fact that he went for 23, 24 in that previous over.
understandable. Understandable. Let's see how he goes about his business though. Meanwhile, when it comes to GT's bowling as well, since you mentioned Nitish Rana, we also briefly touched upon KL Rahul. GT's bowlers themselves haven't been too good in the power play. They've taken just the 1 wicket across 12 overs. So, that matchup is now fairly loaded in DC's favour. You would want to believe that the DC top order, even Patum Nasanka for that matter, he's looked really good in the couple of games so far. They would be smacking their lips, to at the prospect of facing the GT bowling lineup in the power play at least.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Dekhte hain. Yep.
100%.
Also, we had
There's a question asking about when is Jared and Rob coming. Rob will be joining us in the second innings. Jared won't be joining us today. He's got some work, so he's taking his kids out to a theme park. So he's having
oh,
fun with the kiddos.
nice to hear that. Let's just take this super chat from Andy about side strain. So, Robbie, I'll just put that out in the meantime. Vignesh will probably display it. Yeah, there we go. How can a side strain hamper a hitter like Brevis? We've seen him miss out already 3 games for CSK. How does it actually affect a batter?
So a side strain is a strain on the side, right? And then, so basically, because cricket is a side-on game, it doesn't allow you to play shots and play the big shots well. So it hurts. So it impedes you from putting in power into the shot, and that takes away from you. So side strain for a bowler, because you have to crunch one side or you have to extend one side.
Yep.
Are you just seeing the six now?
Yeah, just seeing the six now. And again, very similar lines bowled by Kuldeep. And once again, Gill attacks him in a very similar manner. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Excellent shot that, though.
Clean, no?
Excellent.
Clean.
Yeah. Still, again, erring on the straighter side there, Kuldeep. I don't know what's it like. He's been consistently bowling that leg stump line. I don't know if it's by choice or if he's not getting his lines right, because it's happened across 2 games. You would want to believe that this is a plan that he is trying to
No, so
execute.
the thing is, the margin of error to someone like Shubman is also small. The very
Fair.
accomplished batter, so he plays the ball well, and stop spinners and googlies that he predominantly will bowl to Gill, right? So Shubman plays the shot over extra covers really well. So probably trying to avoid. He's trying to keep it, on in just inside off stump and middle stump. So the margin of error is very small.
That's
How many
true.
runs in that over?
That
Six,
is.
10, 9 runs in that over.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm assuming the last ball went for a single because I'm still 5 balls
single,
into
single.
this.
Yeah, single.
Yeah, fair, fair. Someone rightly mentions no one knows.
Correct.
Excellent handle. Yeah, that's true. Robbie has a crystal ball while I have a time machine walking back in the past. That's true, man. That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Jumpsuit
the
was
way it
talking
goes.
about the shot that Gill played, the six that Gill hit, would have been so painful with a side strain. That is exactly what I mean by that. Like Brevis won't have the ability to play that kind of a shot right now. So even if he try, and the thing with the side strain is, unless you're completely healed, you can't go and try that out in the nets. Because if it's healing and you play it, you can aggravate it. So it has to be fully healed and then some. And then, because there's going to be scar tissue in that strain.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah. So that scar tissue is basically going to, like, you need to break that scar tissue also with practice. So
So
the way back is competitive.
how do you
You
gauge
take
that you're in full fitness? Like, when do you start playing these shots in that case?
So when you play the shots in the nets and don't feel like, you don't feel on a scale of 10, you feel the pain at maybe 1, 2, or you don't feel it at all. That's when you feel like, okay, now I'm fine.
But how do they ever get to that place? Like, for instance, I am brevis. I've hurt my side strain. Now I'm not going to play because it's hurting me. But how do they monitor that progress? And this is in general, of course, asking as a very naive fool. How do they get to that stage wherein they're like, okay, now let me at least try playing these shots to see if I'm fully fit or not?
Uh,
Does that make sense? It could be a very stupid question, so apologies in advance. The pause
no,
says it all.
no. I'm just trying to put your question into context. Ask me the question again.
So with Brevis, you mentioned that you cannot play these shots when you. Oh, is that a wicket?
No, it's not.
Almost to Stubbsy there. But yeah, like you were talking about Brevis. If I
Hmm.
am in pain, if I have hurt my side strain, I cannot play these shots because I risk aggravating the injury. So then, when do I actually start even attempting to play these shots in the nets? Like,
So when you're
do I have
pain
to get
free, So when you're pain
completely?
free, first, yeah, when you're pain free
Okay,
and you can go to the gym and you test it out, there are certain exercises that you do, you test it out, then you go to the nets, you ask someone to throw a ball, and you kind of play the shots that were causing you pain or that
got it,
caused that
got it.
injury to you. So then you play those shots and you see how you kind of um, measure the pain for on those shots, and then you kind of take
Understood.
it forward based on your threshold.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Meanwhile, Washi playing a really good knock here, 18 ball 34, has massively helped GT scores and also, Gill's troubles as well.
Hasn't got much
That's
strike in the last 9 balls.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Meanwhile, someone in between, I think the handle said Mamba or something, they asked if we take comments, live comments, and all of it. Of course
Yeah,
we
yeah,
will. That's what we are
of
here
course we
for,
are.
folks. Yep. So
Yeah.
please feel free to send in whatever you have. Yeah. Robbie, a naive thought. Do
Sure.
bowlers ever try to hit a specific area of the bat? Asks Sham. Thoughts on that?
Uh, they try and hit a specific area on the pitch that allows the ball to be played with a certain part of the bat. So ideally, you want the batter to play with the upper half of the bat and not the lower half of the bat. Like if you can keep him there, because the upper half of the bat is not as good as the lower half of the bat.
Or
So that
played
that
Washi.
generally is the intention.
Yeah. He's really been decisive, like you mentioned, off the short balls especially. This is the way he's targeted that region between long on and deep mid wicket, just constantly barraging that area. And well, that's his third or fourth boundary in that region right now, and all of them off spinners.
Yeah,
Well,
he's been so good. He's been so good.
exactly. Very good to see that. All right. Last ball. Let's see what happens. Ooh! Well bowled, Akshar. Yeah. Oh,
So
wide
wide.
given. Oh man,
Yeah.
I, I would look at reviewing it. I would look at reviewing it.
That's not going to be reviewed.
Oh man,
It's
I
4,
like the
8,
idea though.
10 runs.
Yeah.
10 runs in that over.
Oh, अच्छा last ball खत्म भी हो गया क्या आपके यहाँ?
खत्म भी हो गया.
Rahul and Akshay just stopped discussing. They were thinking, "अरे लेना है क्या DRS?" Okay, I see that now. There we go. Single taken. अच्छा. Not a bad over for DC. GT will need a few more. Like again, I feel like GT is happy. एक boundary मिल गया ना over से तो खुश. मतलब अभी done for the over. Now let's move on to the next one. They've been milking singles regularly, but it's just the one boundary, and that's where they would want to make that one into two, potentially three.
So there's someone who's saying, again, despite a boundary, still not getting more than 13 runs in the over. Srihari, question to you is, for that 13 runs to happen, how would you make that possible? Like, can you break down that 13 runs for me in an over? How would it be?
Let us also try and think how could it be? Two fours and four singles make it 12. 13 चाहिए तो तीन boundary तो कम से कम चाहिए. Three fours and three singles make that 15. So that's what Sri Hari is expecting. My man's got big expectations, Robbie. What's the problem with
Yeah.
that?
So and you're saying, Hari, that every over that there's a boundary that's been hit, it has to be a 12 to 13 run over. It's not fair, yeah, Hari. It's not probable. Like, the probability of that happening is less. So out of 10 times a batter hits a boundary in an over, if you can make it between a 10 and 12 run over, you've done a great job. If you've scored more than 13 runs in the over, you've done an exceptional job. If you've hit more than 15 runs in an over, you've done a rare thing, right? So the exceptional bit in this whole thing will be, say, out of 10 times, you'll do it maybe 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, maybe. That's it. Won't be more than that.
And I would imagine that it also depends on the kind of bat and everything, right? Like what Sri Hari is saying would make sense if we are talking about, say, a Tim David or a Donovan Ferreira who bats lower down the order, finisher who is expected to score more boundaries, sure. If it is Washington
Yeah.
Sundar, you know his range, you know the kind of shots he plays. Expecting him to hit three boundaries and over would probably be a bit much, I guess. Has Washi improved his
Uh,
game against spin?
I think he has, but I think he's improved his game a lot more against fast bowlers. I think his game against the fast bowlers improved a lot, and he's always been, like, if you look at his batting to the spin, right, slightly one-dimensional to spin. He plays a sweep shot, he hits over covers, but not much range beyond that. So I think there's room to improve there. But his fast bowling batting has become just really, really good.
Yeah, a maiden IPL 50 on the cards for him. I hope I'm not jinxing him there. 40 of 22, good
Don't
knock.
say this, man. Let him bat.
Genuinely, I mean, do you believe in that though? As someone now, especially who's on comms, uh, and have you seen that video by the way of Shane Warne? Shane Warne and Mark Nicholas, they were
Yeah,
calling this
yeah.
game. Yeah. Hilarious
I
video
watched
that.
that.
But yeah, do you believe in something like that?
Yeah, 100%. I've seen it happen all of my entire life.
Chalo. Let's hope I've not put the mockers on him. The last thing I want to do is just that. चलो देखते हैं. Akshay, do you have
He's on
any
how much
stats
now?
like?
46, 32?
Yeah, Gill is 46 of 32. Washi is 40 of 22. Yeah, we're
Hmm.
14.3 abhi. This is the fourth ball. Another slow one, dipping. Oh man, Ngidi, just the way he keeps dishing out those slower dippers, beautiful to watch. Yeah, beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
Akshay, do you have any
Wide?
stats
No,
on
maybe
what
not.
percentage
Wide.
of overs in the IPL are two plus boundaries? I don't have them on me right now, but it's definitely something that can be looked upon and shared with. I'll try getting this for sure. Let me just take a screenshot. Yeah. I'll try and get this. But yeah, interesting so far with Ngidi, man. You would imagine someone like Ngidi, you spoke about how Bumrah has become predictable in the sense that batters know what to expect off of him. You would imagine batters also now know what to expect of Ngidi. That in dipper, the slower ball, but it still is just as difficult each time.
Yeah, so it's actually, um, so with him, what he does is, it's like, even if the batter knows, right, it is such a hard ball to prep for. Eventually gets a boundary against Ngidi. He's bowled so well. Shubman Gill gets his
Beautiful.
50 here of 33 deliveries. And the run rate has dropped to 10.7 now, 10.8
After the boundary or before the boundary? After the boundary.
after the boundary.
Oh, geez, they really slowed down here. Oof, another slow one, but well played there, Gill, in the gap. Yep, there we go. But yeah, you were talking about this, Robbie, about the slow ones and how hard it is to prep.
So even if you're predictable, it's very hard to pick them and get under them, right? So again, he's bowled a slower ball and he managed to hit him for a four. And the next ball also, he's bowled a slow ball. Somehow he's reached it and scored a run. Again, 9 runs in the over.
It
Four,
reminds
five,
me
six,
of,
seven, 8, 9.
yep. It reminds me of Harshal Patel slow ones, especially that 21 season where the kind of dip man was generating. I was like, yeah, it was something. It was sorcery. It was sorcery at its best. It was great. I think you also would have faced him, right, that season since you did play. What? How do
Yeah.
you then? What do you do? How do you prep or how do you plan for that, knowing that this is what's coming at you?
So you basically everyone have like an individual plan as to how they'd like to approach that particular delivery, and then you kind of back yourself to play it. With him, I would always prepare for the slow delivery because I felt like the faster it came, the easier it was for me. So for me, change of pace felt tough to sometimes tough to cope with. So if I had to pick between pace or change of pace, I'd always say pace.
Of course, yeah,
Um,
makes sense.
yeah,
But about this as well, like if you remember the first ball of this over, Washi was clearly beaten for pace there. And again, it's not like the ball was very quick. It felt like Washi was probably expecting or anticipating the slow one. It happened to be a pace on length ball, and he was beaten for pace. So what do you do in that case? Because like you said, I remember for Harshad, it was Ian Bishop or someone who mentioned back then in the 21 season, the way he would play Harshal is expect every ball to be a slow one and react only to the faster ones. Like the default option is a slow ball and then react to the faster
correct,
one and play accordingly. But now here,
correct.
I would with Washi, I would imagine he's probably done the same thing versus NGD. The downside to it is probably that you have lesser time to react. So you still that's the only thing. That's the only way of probably dealing with such bowlers.
Yeah, so you kind of you feel like um you can manage the fast deliveries, and then the slow ones is what you need to have solutions for, right? And I think with Ngidi, with just the way he's bowling right now, the boundaries you want to it'd be better prepared for the slow deliveries, and I think you'll give yourself a better chance to score runs off that than you'll get uh, you know than you would get if you are prepared for the fast deliveries.
Makes sense. It
Yeah,
does make sense for sure. You're seeing the highlights. I don't think they've taken the strategic time out yet, right? Because they're showing the
they
highlights
have.
from them. Oh, they have, is it? All right.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Maybe we
Robbie,
can take a
do you
couple of
remember?
questions.
Yeah, we can take. I also had a question for you. Do you remember all the captains you've played for in the IPL? Do you think?
Not all of them. First is Sachin, Paji, Kevin
Technically,
Peterson,
Harbhajan,
Anil
I would
Kumble,
imagine.
Harbhajan, um,
UV,
Anil
Ganguly.
Kumble, Yuvi, Ganguly, Aaron Finch,
Yeah.
Michael Clark.
Clark also captain
Mm,
Pune, that's true. Uh,
mm,
then it was the Gambhir era after that, I would imagine, for a while.
Gauti. Mm,
DK after that, 2018-19, the KKR
yeah,
thing.
DK.
Yeah.
Then
RR
in
Smith or
RR
Rahane,
it
who was
was
it?
Smith.
Oh,
No Rahane.
that. Okay.
Smith, Ben Stokes. I
Oh,
think
Stokes also
captain 1 or 2
captain.
games. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay. Interesting. That takes the count to 11. Then, of course, Dhoni and Jaddu
Mm.
as well. Oh, takes the count to
Just do
14.
a few games and then yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Do you like? Of course, you've mentioned time and time again about how cricket, despite being a team sport, is an individual sport within a team sport. Do you change the way you operate, under a different skipper based on how they are? Like, is that something you look at or emphasize on?
No, I didn't. how I would do it was, I'd be like, I want to. This is the captain. This is how he likes to run things. I want to understand how can I bring myself to what he needs as a captain. So
Got it.
understanding who they were was important. If I was playing for the team, then I need to make sure that I had to find my way to fit into the narrative of the team as to what the team was trying to achieve, right? And there were teams where you felt like hey, no one's no one's given any clarity. Don't think the captain knows what he wants to achieve, and there's no clarity for 80% of the players. And you're like, okay, man, what do you do here? I've been franchise like that.
But about this as well, especially in the IPL, this is a question that I've always had. Might not be a problem that you might have faced because you understand the language, you understand English, Hindi, Tamil, Kannada, a bunch of languages, so it becomes easier for you to interact with most of these players. But for a lot of them, for whom English is not a first language or a language they're comfortable conversing in, how hard was it, especially in the initial seasons, because a lot of the coaches were foreign, a lot of the captains at times were foreign, and how would you bridge that barrier, especially?
You try, because if I was in the leadership group, then I'd try to be the voice or take the ownership to speak to the younger players, communicate with them. Um, that's the only way, only thing you can do. But there were Indian coaches who would still be a part of the team, but again, depending on their personality, um, how much they actually contributed.
Because if I think of that 2009-10 RCB setup and everything, bunch of Kannadigas there, but of course the coach was South African, and I'm trying to think who were the other coaches. I can't think of too many, but that's where I would imagine, like, when you are conversing with a lot of these players, even if you're not a part of the leadership group, is that something that is that a responsibility you would just sort of de facto volunteer yourself into, because yeah,
Yeah,
you are expected to do that?
100%. Now, okay, let me break that down for you. Now, how many players are there in the IPL? 10 teams, 25 players each, 250,
Yeah, give or take. Yeah.
and then say some fringe players, so about 300 players, right? So in those 300 players, the shit, man, I lost track of the question while I was thinking about the numbers.
Yeah, we were
Ask me
talking
again.
about we were talking about language, so I
Language,
just brought up.
correct. So with the
Yeah, yeah.
languages, so basically out of 300 players, how many people actually Indians out of Indians, which is basically 60%, 70% of the players.
200
How
roughly,
many
manlo.
how many of them actually know English? Who can communicate well in English? 20%, 25%.
Probably, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Some people understand, but they say they can speak, but they barely understand English really well. So you need
Correct.
people from India to be a part of the coaching staff, so they can communicate, can help these kids find solutions. Like a lot of the youngsters coming up through the ranks, not a lot of them know English,
Yeah,
especially people coming
yeah.
from UP and all that. It's very hard.
That is true, and especially back then, I guess that's where I did like the rule that IPL had in the beginning. If you remember, they had this catchment area that each team was assigned, and they had to bring in players from that region. The idea back then was local pipeline and everything, and somewhere it became easier for people to converse, to communicate. And I want to believe somewhere that plays a role, maybe not directly on the team's performance, but it becomes easier for you, or it makes you a lot more comfortable in an environment. Like, for instance, for a Vinay Kumar to know that there is, say, an Anil Kumble, a Rahul Dravid, a Robin Uttappa, or even for that matter from the fringe players, an Akhil. I can't think. Aparna was probably a part of the side as well around the same time. Knowing that you've got other folks who you can converse with, who you've played enough cricket with, do you think a rule like that
Oh,
still
that
makes
you'll
sense?
find
Or
that you'll still find. That's not that you won't find. You'll find
but it's not by
you'll find
choice, right? It if it happens,
Yeah.
great, but it's not something teams focus on.
No, no, it's not.
And
And
do you
why
think
should they?
is
Because
there any, yeah, but is there any place for something like that? precisely for this, just to ensure that the team camaraderie, the bonding is a lot more. It's a lot more in.
See, Akshay, right now it's too short.
I get
The
what you mean.
IPL is too
Yeah.
short for you to build that kind of camaraderie, and you come 1 week before the tournament, and to kind of build all that takes time. Yeah, you need to spend time with the team. It takes 3-4 months to build
Fair,
all that.
fair. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's
yeah.
understandable. Taking a few more comments in the meantime. Aditya, okay, let's take this, Rusty. Robbie, what makes a player a good captain?
Someone who's service oriented, who wants to serve the team. Someone who's by nature generally fair. Someone who's patient. Someone who's willing to meet people where they are and elevate them to where they
Yeah.
need to be. So they have foresight. Someone foresight. Obviously, someone with tactical knowledge of the game as well, and someone with a calmer personality.
Oof. What was that ball? Sorry to cut you there, but what
Hit me ball.
was. Yeah. Again, trying that quicker one, 113 clicks, but once again, the line, Robbie, just very straight. This was well outside the leg stump. Oh, man. Proper buffet ball. That. Sorry, you were saying, Robbie.
So I think these are things that you need, right? As a captain, this is what makes a good captain, according to me.
And as a follow-up to that, Robbie, I mean, you spoke about tactical awareness. My personal belief is that, barring MS Dhoni and probably to some extent Owen Morgan, I don't think I've seen captains add value tactically. Like, actually be there in terms of tactical know and knowing how to. This is my personal opinion again. No, this is just based
Clearly
on
not
what.
a Gautam Gambhir or a KKR fan.
Gambhir. No, Gambhir. I'll have to add Gambhir. That's on me. That's on me. Probably let my biases come in way too easily. Gambhir has to be there. Gambhir has to be there. Yeah. Gambhir, Dhoni right on top, and to some extent Owen Morgan. Apart from that, when it comes to tactical awareness, I don't think I've seen a lot in the IPL. And now to just the way teams function, how much do you think do captains, like how much flexibility are captains given in terms of, yeah, मतलब ये broad idea, but आप जाके कुछ भी कर सकते हो, because it does feel like captains come in with their planning and they try and stick to it as much as possible.
No, so the captain and coach basically have to work hand in hand to make things work for the team, right? That's another 6. This is much needed runs for GT if they want to score over 215. It's a classy shot.
That's true. I'm still waiting for the ball to happen, so no comments yet. But yeah, Robbie, you were talking about that about captains. Like, how do you evaluate a captain tactically when there probably isn't that much of a leeway for them? Oh, floats it up into his arm. Oh man, well done, well played, well played. 100 run that brings up the 100 run partnership as well. 103 of 58. In the slot, floats it up nicely. I'm not sure what was Kuldeep trying to do there, but whatever it was, Gill is more than happy to take that. 70 of 41 right now. Robbie, continuing.
Bro, I wish your feed was closer to mine. I would have made so many predictions and you would have seen it immediately, man. Because now if I make predictions, it'll be like, ये तो बंदा
I know what you
देख कर
mean.
बता रहा है.
No, I trust you. I trust you on this. I'll take your word for it.
There's Andy who's saying Gambhir is a moron, bro. Unfortunately, I have to disagree with you there because I know Gambhir. I know Gotti. Gotti is quite the misunderstood personality. Can be defensive by nature, which is normal. He's the kind of leader with whom things have worked for him. Things have worked for him when he's led well, right? So he backs himself with what he does. So, given that, he obviously takes a lot of pride in everything that he's achieved as an individual as well. So today, his assertiveness in things that have worked for him comes across as him being a moron. He's not. He's actually a very nice chap.
But how much of it, again, this is a question you can sort of, leave. It's probably a nice nip backer from outside the off stump. But with Gambhir especially, how much of it is also down to his off-field persona that people have, sort of really not taking a liking towards. I agree with you on field. I don't think there's very little that you can question about Gambhir and what he's done on the field, be it as a captain, as a coach, as a mentor. I know the India coaching stint probably has not gone as much to plan as he would have liked, but he kept that's still done and dusted, part of the game. But the off-field persona somewhere that does make you wonder. Again, a question you can perfectly understandably choose to not answer, but yeah.
That question can mean so many things, Akshay.
Perfectly vague. Beautifully vague. It's one of those leading questions that lawyers tend to pose to try and get something out of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me just sum the game up at this point in time. 17 overs gone, 182 for 2. If they can't get 210, another 30 runs here, I'd be very upset with GT.
Yeah. 30 is too low. I'd be
And
upset even if
now
they get 30.
Ngidi is bowling his last over. He's gone 3 overs to 21 runs. And both these batters know that he's only going to bowl those dipping slow balls. What should they do at this point in time? I agree, 220. I'm always like thinking, like, who's this? Unknown Nobody 9. Like, 220 must be on the cards. I agree with you. But for me, I'm always thinking from an empathetic kind of side. Like, what if it doesn't happen? What if the bowler has a good over? Right? Right now, Shubman Gill should be batting deep in the crease, so that he's got chance to get under the ball.
Got it. Is it worth exploring playing behind the square? I know there's not a lot of pace to work with, but is that an option they can consider because it's turning almost square? A couple of his deliveries potentially try and lap it behind. Washi has that shot with him. Shubman probably not so much. Is that something you would consider? Yeah. Let's take that. Is that something you would consider playing behind square? I mean, going for those laps against slower ones?
No, not against slower balls. We won't get any pace on it.
Fair. All right.
I think Gill's gone.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Slow ball, try to get under it. Nish Rana takes a very simple catch and covers. Only managed to sky the ball.
Who do they send in now? Shahrukh, Rahul, Rashid, Glenn Phillips?
Take a pick. Oh, Akshay's gone off. Or is he on God mode? Maybe he's gone off. But Ali Syed, let's read a question. Billion-dollar franchises can afford translators. The real issue is that teams aren't professionally run and players aren't truly valued. Bang on, buddy. I completely agree with you. And I think, yes, they can afford it. But how many people have the wherewithal to understand that, okay, you want translators who also know the game, so that what is communicated can be put in that perspective, could be put into perspective, right? It's not just translating something. The translation being in perspective with what a player's role is. So it should be a cricketer who can communicate well. It should be all of that. Who will be sent? I think Shahrukh. Oh, David Miller. No, Glenn Phillips.
It's Phillips. Miller is now part of the opposition, Robbie Saab. Too many switches.
Oh, shoot. Right, sorry, man.
Miller's.
Can't keep track.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah, it's hard. Phillips is coming, by the way. I personally would have sent in Rashid right now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But about the whole valuation bit, I mean, that's been a constant problem with IPL, right? Like player salaries as a percentage of the revenue that the tournament makes, it's peanuts if you compare it with the likes of the NFL, the NBA. We're nowhere even close to being compared in terms of how much money that's spent. So it will take time. It's definitely a disruption that it's sort of a bubble that's waiting to be burst. We can only hope it happens soon.
Actually, do you think it'll happen in India?
I have very unpopular opinions, Robbie. Let me preface whatever I have to say with that. Now, my only
Go
question
for
is
it. Tell me.
how. I don't know. I feel it can't happen in India just because of the way we function. Like, even if the players want, there's this there's no agency. There's literally no agency that players have of their own wherein they can try and voice their opinions. Australia, England, maybe they might even still consider, they might still try and listen, have some sort of a conversation. India knows that they can just shut it up and bin it all together without even having to worry about anything. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I think
it's
that
what
was
it is,
as
right?
polite
And
as
I
I
think
could be. I'm happy.
I couldn't disagree. I couldn't agree with you more. I think autonomy is something that Indian cricketers have very little of. Whether you're playing or not playing, whether if you're associated with cricket, then
For sure.
you have very little autonomy over your own life, or not life but career.
I mean, it's in a way a reflection of India in general. But before that, by the way, a fantastic over, just 3 runs so far, 5 balls in. Robbie probably already has finished the over at his end, so I don't know what's happened to the last ball. But
Single
fantastic stuff.
last ball.
So just 4 of this over. So Robbie, that
Can you
30 run
believe it?
that you said initially, I mean, the 30 runs that you mentioned could potentially be what they end up getting, and that would be very sad. That would be very sad if they only end up with 30 in the last 3.
Look what's happened to Washi, man. Just stuck in
Yep.
the non-strikers end in the last 4 5 overs.
Let me just see how much, like, I want to see his innings split. Let me just try and get that. He's not faced a single delivery this over. He's not faced a single delivery the last over. The last ball he faced was 13 balls ago. That's a lot of time to be waiting at the non-strikers end, man.
So when he does get to
It's,
strike, the first thing he'll do is swing. It'll be six or out.
yeah. Yep. For sure. Ah, man, he was 39 of 20, last 7 balls, just the 5 runs. Once again, I won't entirely fault him because he's not even gotten this strike to sort of, and you can't expect him to just directly start hitting once again as soon as he gets the strike. So it's not going to
Yeah.
be easy for sure.
What's his full
About,
length deliveries? His weight is more on the back foot. Why?
oh, it's
Introspect is
nothing.
asking a question.
Let's take Introspect's question. Robbie, why does Washi struggle versus full length deliveries? His weight is more on the back foot. Why? Oof.
His weight is more on the back foot because he sets himself up as a finisher, right? So he's not setting like so. As a finisher, you want to try and get under the ball, and so he tries to get under the ball, and to get under the ball, especially in the death, you want to wait on the back foot.
Oh man,
Ah,
that was a good shot from Phillips, and just the single there. I like what Udapa underscore 13 also has to say. GP didn't even begin to run thinking he was caught. So well done. Also, he's someone I think this is Santosh. So good on you, Santosh. Welcome to this team, of course. So always a bit of nepotism from my end, from whatever little way possible. Taking comments of people and attempts the lap. Attempts the lap there. Washi unfortunately goes straight to the short third. Expected tha because that is a shot that he goes to versus Pacers. And who do you think will bowl
but
the
again,
last
wait on
over
the
then?
back foot.
Yeah, that's true. Engidi is done. Who else? Mukesh then. Mukesh has an over, but he's gone
Uh,
for 43 in his 3. So, yeah.
who else can bowl?
There's Akshar Patel for what it's worth. I don't think
No,
he'll. Yeah,
Akshar
yeah,
won't bowl.
yeah. All right. Will be very interesting to see though
It could be
how.
Mukesh only.
Should be Mukesh in all likelihood. Spinner को यहाँ पे देके फायदा नहीं है. 10 no
Andy, not hard
balls.
at all, bro. On a good pitch, back of a length, good length. So easy.
I don't think I can just as casually say so easy, but I agree with what you say. Yeah. It's. I feel with you, especially Robbie, it's not a case of me fanboying or anything, but I feel like I should be slightly. I should tone my cricketing opinion slightly simply because the guys played. अगले बंदे ने cricket खेला है. मतलब at that level. मैंने भी खेला है,
No,
but
man,
indoor
have fun.
cricket खेला है. No, of
Like,
course,
but
of course.
the thing is, we can like see, everyone's entitled to their opinion, right? And the whole point of us doing this is also because we want to speak truth to power when it comes to cricket, right? So, because we want to play truth to power, we want to um, play the role of bringing truth to power to cricket. Is it going all the way, this one? Finally, he hits a six and brings up his maiden IPL 50. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but yeah, Washi finally
Not
gets
at
it.
all. Akshar is
Uh,
busy moving the square leg a bit more squarish. I was
yeah.
looking at that.
Again,
So, yeah.
weight on the back foot, but transferred it well onto the front when he picked it up as a slight full toss.
Ooh, well done, man. Well done. Got underneath the ball really well there. Again, attempted Yorker won't fault Nattu for it. He was trying to just execute his plan. Happens, but well played there. Well played. Meanwhile, someone says, no, Akshay, you should be wilder like Rob. Trust me, again, you
I
you
agree.
shouldn't be. I don't need too many such prompts. I'm more than happy to go as
Yes,
wild as possible. But let's see. Another
another
boundary?
boundary.
Lovely,
Yeah,
lovely.
he beat Nattu and he beat mid off to get a boundary of the last ball of the over, I think. Yeah,
Nice.
he did.
And to
Any other
those
super
wondering,
chats? Let's pick up the super chats, bro.
yeah, let's take the let's go in order. Then let's probably start off with okay. Let's start off with Kanish Goyal, who asks, "Does GT have anybody to fix their middle order right now?"
Well, they do, don't they? I think Washi is fairly doing a fairly decent job. They have Glenn Phillips, but they can't. Like the thing is that they need Shubman Gill to play a little bit more aggressively,
Yeah.
simply because of the way cricket's being played. Jason Holder is not a bad option, for sure. Uh,
Even hold up. Tom Banton is another name they have. Kumar Kushagra is another name they have. But again, like to what extent will they actually plug these holes? I'm not sure because Glenn Phillips is arguably the best of the lot of the names that we've discussed. They already are playing Glenn Phillips, Shah Rukh Khan. So the best names are already out there. Not sure if there's any name that you would say, oh, you know what, this guy should be in the middle order right now, starting next game. That way,
oh,
probably not too
shot!
many.
Woo!
Oh,
You'd be happy.
well, I'm looking at Rashid
It
Khan
is.
right now, and I can totally relate
It
to
is
him. But
Mukesh Magrat.
यार मुकेश इतनी तारीफ की थी यार आपकी सब पानी में फेर दिया कोई नहीं meanwhile Aditya Dwajan also says you and Ross Taylor made my childhood days memorable. Both of you were key RCB players during those two seasons. Fantastic
Yeah,
to hear. Yeah, for me, my knock
those were
of
fun
that
seasons, man.
for I can imagine for like both on-field and
Fun
off-field reasons,
seasons.
but yeah, I can imagine. For me, one knock, I'll
Off
just
field,
bring
why?
that up and I don't
Off
know
field,
why.
what
For
happened,
some
man?
reason, I don't know. Something apparently used to happen, is what I've heard. The rumor mills, they just keep spinning these new things. So, yeah.
What happened? I was happily single at that point in time, so a lot happened for me.
But in terms of knocks, for me, my knock, like the knock that comes to mind of you and RCB has to be versus Chennai, specifically the reverse sweep shot that you played off Ashwin. That's a bat. First of all, I really wanted that Reebok blue sticker bat. I used to beg my dad every day, please that bat, wo bat dila do, wo bat dila do. That reverse sweep you hit, again, 12-year-old me just thought it's the bat. वो बैट अगर होता ना तो मैं भी
Yeah.
रिवर्स स्वीप अश्विन को मार देता छक्का चला
As,
जाता. It's
as,
that
as
bat.
12 years old, as a 12-year-old, we all used to think like that.
So, but yeah, always
Yeah.
fun memories that even for us fans. Shreyas meanwhile asks, Robbie, will you play Akib Nabi in the Afghanistan test? Ooh, that's happening in June, I want to say. Yeah.
Would I play him in the Afghanistan tests? I don't know. Yeah, I probably will. He's done so well.
It would be great. It would make for a great story as well. I would imagine the first player from Kashmir to play Test cricket for India. Parvez Rasool only played ODIs. I don't remember anyone
ODIs.
from Kashmir. Yeah, playing.
Yeah, he deserves it. Mukesh got washy out here. Full toss. Again, trying to squeeze the ball, but just was able to squeeze it to Nitish Rana and covers another wicket.
Yeah, low full toss. Well done, though. Well done. Well played, Washi. Excellent knock, though. Exactly what Ashu Paji would have hoped for when he kept saying, "Nee, Washi at number 5 is the way we want to go." Yeah.
And still
Just the
short,
kind
yeah,
of
Akshay. They're still short. They're like,
true.
what, 12 runs
12
short?
overs,
What are they,
132. Yeah. Then 17 overs, they were 180. From there, yeah, they've scored only 25 runs of the last 15, 16 deliveries.
Yeah,
That's very little. Yeah.
doesn't feel right.
That's true.
220
That's true.
will feel right, especially in that ground in Delhi, right?
Agreed.
You want that much.
That ground, considering DC's bowling line, I mean GT's bowling attack, which is primarily consisting of pacers, it's not going to be easy like against that DC batting lineup. Meanwhile, to finish off the super chats, Kaushal also asks, which is more of a team sport, tests or T20s? Interesting.
T20s.
Ooh, what are you saying? Seriously?
Yeah,
Oh.
because I think in test matches you can actually bring yourself up to switch a game, right? But here every over is an event. Like that, if you speak, even every over in test cricket is an event. But the opportunity of changing the course of a match in T20 cricket is a lot more in 20 overs in every
True.
over than in a test match. You know?
Sounds very counterintuitive, but it does make sense when you actually sort of spell it out. Yeah, like in
Yeah.
my head, for some reason, test, but just by virtue of it being such a long game, you need
The lone
it.
quester has just kind of put it down so beautifully.
What does he say?
Selflessness as a talking point came up
Oh,
in 2020s. It has to be T20s. I agree with him.
yeah. Meanwhile, before we go to the last super chat, did you just see how Glenn Phillips sort of set himself up for the run? Like a sprinter, he was
Yeah.
completely in that proper position, crouch position, just waiting to bolt. Lovely to see that. Last super chat,
But
meanwhile, from.
if the batter hits it straight back at him, no.
Oh, jeez. Talk about putting the markers there, Robbie.
All of this looks really nice. All of this looks really nice on TV. It's good for
Yeah.
it's good for television.
Abeg, you shouldn't be. It was almost like PlayStation पे जब खेलते you accidentally press the button and the batter
Correct.
starts running.
Run,
Felt
yeah.
that way. Yeah. Meanwhile, yeah, just to round off the super chats, Vijay Anand asks us, is it a management error that CSK missed the likes of Duffy, Ngidi and Bishnoi at base price? Because the batting is fine till now without their top players. Before Robbie answers, Bishnoi went at 7 odd crores, bro, and Ngidi 1.5 base price, Duffy also base price. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, so the thing is, you can argue that they missed a trick there, but at that point they probably felt that they had enough of personnel there to not go for Ngidi. I was scouting for CSK in 2022, and
Oh,
for
okay.
me, I recommend, and I was while still playing for them, and I recommended Nandre Berger to them then. Um,
Wow. I don't think he'd
yeah.
even play for South Africa then, had he?
No, he hadn't. He
Oh,
was
wow.
good. Then there's another fast bowler from there, Otniel Bartman. I recommended
Oh,
him
thank
to.
you. Thank you, Robbie. I'll die on that
Uh,
hill. I can't believe Bartman hasn't gotten an IPL gig yet. But yeah, continue. You were saying.
I don't how well he's bowled in the SA20s. I don't know if you watched him. He bowls so well in the SA20s. But yes, I think they have missed a trick in hindsight. We're all going to feel like they missed a trick, but I think they did the best they could with what they had. And Nathan Ellis was supposed to be in the mix of things at that point in time. Where they missed a trick, I think, is in letting go of Sam Curran along with Jadeja. It should have been Jadeja for Sanju Samson swap. It shouldn't have included Sam
But
Curran.
I mean, this is something I'd spoken about even then. When the trade happened, I actually felt like a lot of people were talking about how RR has actually gotten a poorer trade. CSK have won this trade very easily by a fair margin. I didn't feel that way. I genuinely didn't, because RR did, like, in a way, RR had a severe role overlap with Sanju. They already had a keeper. They had enough top order batters, and Sanju himself wanted to also move out, and that also counts for a lot. Knowing that
Yeah.
Jaddu is the kind of player they needed, Karan was the kind of player they needed, and very happy to see RR actually doing well this time around. Genuinely happy to see that
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah. What did they ended up
Few
at?
more
210. 100% 10
210.
15 runs shot.
By the
100%
way,
10 15
you were
runs shot.
bang on. 30 runs is what they ended up scoring last 3 overs. Very far from ideal for sure.
Yeah. See, at the end of the innings, how that 70 or 45 looks good, no?
Always. Simon Dool had mentioned this, that you can never make up for lost balls. Like, if you've played slowly and then if you've accelerated, it's you can't make up for it. Do you
There
agree
was a
with
time when
that?
there was a time in cricket when you could make up for lost deliveries, but you can't anymore. Not the way cricket's played today. And
It
you
is not
can if you
easy.
have the ability to actually make up for it properly. Like
Have a
today, these kind
seventh
of
or an
scores
eighth
won't fly
gear.
in the round. Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Okay, let's
easy
take a
for
break.
sure. Yeah, we
I'm
will
gonna
take a
run.
break. We'll be back soon, folks. In the meantime, we will of course put out a podcast. If I'm not wrong, we've got something lined up in the break. So do join us. Do stay tuned. Rob Byron will also be joining us if I'm not wrong in the second innings. I hope I'm not
Yes.
wrong there, of course. And lots to discuss there, including of course what is Robbie's favorite hairstyle.
We love the game, but we love the stories. Fans have stories. Former players have stories. Journalists have stories as well. Combox brings them all together. The game lives on.
Hello and welcome to Combox Live. I am Saurabh Somani and with me are Rob Barron and Deepak Goyal. And we are continuing our series of picking all-time IPL 11s. And today we have an interesting team, that's Gujarat Titans. Interesting because they, and of course when we get to LSG, those guys also, they have fairly lesser number of seasons to draw on. So there's almost no chance to go rogue on this one, unfortunately for Rob, who, if you haven't watched our Mumbai Indians pick, you need to go back and watch that because you will not believe you will also not believe who was left out. So, but this one is for Gujarat Titans. So we have relaxed our rules a little bit for this. The eligibility criteria is that they have to have played 10 games at least for Gujarat Titans. For the more established teams, it's 15, but we made it 10 for Gujarat. So they have to have played 10 games for Gujarat. We can pick only 4 overseas players. And we are picking a team of 11 and a 12th man. No impact sub. The 12th man will be the 12th man. So that's the rules. The picking order will be Sub, Rob, and then Deepak. And we do it in a snake style drafts, which of course means it goes the reverse way after that. So I have first pick, and this is amongst the more, I think, difficult first picks. Not because there's a lot of people who are worthy of being first picks, but because there's nobody, in my view, who completely stands out. So what I have done is I have decided I'll go for Rashid Khan because just because of the history he brings with him. I mean, I know his tenure for Gujarat Titans hasn't been all that hot. But he still had 23 and 24 as 23 was a very good year. 22, 23 were very good years. 24 was a slight decline. And last year was just so. But he still has those 2 great years, and he was a key part of them winning the title in 22 and coming within a boundary of with doing it again in 23. Which is why I thought that's like a safe pick. There are other safe picks also, but I went with Rashid just for his pedigree as an overall T20 player. So, yeah, any thoughts, guys? Would you have made that as your first pick, or do you think there are other ones possible?
I would have taken Rashid's name, but the first pick would be completely different. So I'll wait for my one.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
he only just gets in this one for me. He only just gets in this team. You're
really?
going back. You're going back 3-4 years since he was like 2023. He was good.
Yeah.
He got hit. He got hit more than he ever had before in 2023. But his numbers are good, right? He got a wicket every 20 balls. Economy 8.23, and he's on 1.59 wickets a game that year. That's really good, right? Really good numbers. Should be in the team based on that. 2024, he only played 10, I think. And I'm looking here, he's down to less than a wicket a game and going at 8.4 and over. That's no good. That's not overseas gun numbers. And then last year, 9 wickets. A wicket every 36 balls, 0.6 a game, going at 9.34 and over. So he wasn't just getting seen off, he was
Last
getting
year was
whacked.
bad.
The thing that
Last year
annoys
was
me
bad.
about Gujarat's use of him is they don't use his batting enough. And when you've got 3 guys, 1, 2, and 3, who are getting 40 each every game, right? That's their numbers across all of their Gujarat careers. At a good lick, you can afford to burn Rash every time. And he's been, what's he batted here? Let me have a look. He's batted 33 times, and he's been not out 15 of those out of his 65 games. So he only bats half the time, and half of those he's not out. you might as well use him. He strikes at 180.
Yeah.
For Gujarat in the IPL. So when you are 100 for one after 11 overs, which is what they are all the time, this team,
Yeah. Yeah.
tell him to try and get 25 off 7 and go, right, Rash, hit the ball to the moon as often as you can. He's a very good first ball 6 guy, Rashid Khan. He's also a very good first ball wicket guy. Who cares if you're 100 for 2 after it doesn't make any difference? So
Yeah.
when you've got a 180 guy, and I'm looking through the numbers of the whole team again, when we did Punjab the other day, loads of them getting 2 sixes a game. None of these guys getting 2 sixes a game. Let Rashid Khan up it and just go total free license, whack, whack, whack. And in one of his innings in the IPL, he got 10 sixes, I think, Rashid Khan. Well, you know he can do it, right? He can absolutely smoke it. You both look shocked there. He can
against Mumbai, I guess.
So this is a team that kind of has quite sparse resources because they go 3 blockbusters, 1, 2, 3. Here it is, beat that, and then we've got Rashid Khan. You can absolutely make this team better by letting that guy bat more, and it doesn't matter if he fails.
Brilliant insight.
He's batted actually 18 times at number 8 and 12 times at number 7, which, like Rob said, I think is way too low for a team that has the 1, 2, 3 that they have. They should have batted him higher because he can, like Rob said, whack it. Yeah, you were saying something, Deepak.
Yeah, one fact that I kind of figured out for GT, there's a beautiful article somewhere on Cricinfo, if I remember, last year during the war, that GT somehow was chasing on an average less number of runs just because of their bowling attack. The bowling attack were kind of pulling the totals down by 10, 15 runs. And after the war, that scenario changed. Teams knew that they need to a little bit more against GT to take the total beyond them, and then their 1, 2, 3 would not be able to cover. So that's where I think Rob's point becomes even more important, because if you knew that if a 200 chase is there, you're just going to milk around and going to do that with ease. But if it's 220, it used to be difficult, because this is what happened to them in that eliminator against Mumbai also. The chase was 220. They were kind of going well. The time, I think Washington Sundar got out and it just got redaled. So that's a beautiful point. Amazing, I think, way of kind of covering those 15, 20 runs where like GT was struggling at the end, business part of the tournament last year.
So you were right there, Deepak. It was against Mumbai, and it was one of those where Mumbai got too many. They got 220 odd, and he came in too late, and he did his thing. I'm looking at the numbers now. He got 79 off 32 with 10 sixes, not out. So if he bats 3 places higher, Tawatia batted above him and got 14 off 13. No surprise. Manohar batted above him. Do you know what Vijay Shankar batted? He did all right, but Vijay Shankar comes in that kind of chase at number 4. When you have a guy that can hit 10 sixes in 32 balls, give yourself the best chance of winning matches. And I think that is using his batting. You could even, like, this will probably get shot down. You could even open with him if you wanted to, because he ain't going to waste the balls.
But you know, I think their openers, they need that opening period to settle in, and then they can kick on and be. I don't know how effective they'll be if they have to drop down. Like, let's say Rashid comes off 1 out of 4 innings and he bats for the first 5 overs. He'll get a good score. But when the guy who's number 3 comes in, I don't know how effective he'll be.
Yeah, I think he's a better shout when you've had a really good opening partnership, or those 3 have done their thing, and then you go, look, we don't need Tawatia doing his 8 off 11 before he decides to start playing. We don't need that today. We're gonna I'll be very interested to see if he gets in this team, because he shouldn't do. But yeah, I'd definitely use him more for his batting.
Makes sense. It's a brilliant point, I must say.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you know, why I picked him first is also he's like their highest wicket taker. So, in spite of the poor season, I felt like overall he needs to be in a Gujarat Titan. But it's your pick, Rob. Surprise us. Go Rogue.
Yeah, I can't really surprise you here, can I? You can't pluck out a wild card from the bunch here. I really wanted to, but you can't. I think Sai Kishore has to play, and I really like him. And I wanted to talk about him because they don't use him very well either, I don't think. So his numbers are wonderful, Sai Kishore, right? For the guy that he is. He's actually got a strike rate of less than 14 for Gujarat. That's stunning, right? That's really, really good. He's over a wicket a game. He's less than 9 and over. I mean, these aren't elite, amazing numbers, right? But he does a job. And the thing is, the Gujarat think tank refused to let him bowl if the batsman happens to be left-handed. And it's like, well, what's that? I hate that. It's like we've decided unilaterally that this man cannot bowl against left-handers. It's like, yeah, but your other spinner's getting belted. So why don't you let him have a go? I was shouting at the telly all the way through last year. Just let him bowl. He's got amazing numbers. Let him. He's in really good form. Let him go. And they're like, nah. We just let's. But Rashid's getting whacked. He just went for 16 in his last over. Try something else. Try the other guy. Nope. And it didn't work. And they don't use his batting either. Now, I haven't seen him gun it much, Sai Kishore. Like, I haven't watched him enough to know that his batting is worth rolling the dice. But they've never used it. Like, never. He scored 18 runs in his Gujarat career, right? He never gets a go. So I'm not saying that you have to do what you have to do with Rashid Khan, because we know Rashid Khan can gun it against bowlers. So they don't use his batting, and they don't really use his bowling like a third of the time. Yet he's still got amazing numbers. Now, Gujarat is a team that need to use some guys a bit more. You know, stop letting Tawatia chew up loads of balls. You don't need that, and he can't really bowl. So you like Sai Kishore is a proper good cricketer, and he's very, very useful at T20s, and he's a natural wicket taker, I think. And they don't seem to use him like that. So when I went through the numbers, I was like, I love him anyway, but I was like, I'm 100% putting this guy in. I think you can still balance the side and have him and Rash anyway.
Yeah.
I try to do, but yeah, just another kind of just use your resources a bit. But I've never understood the whole. I get it from a when you use your, you must have the stats in front of you guys. I've got a matchup calculator in front of me when I'm betting for IPL, and it's like you tie this player and this player, and it shows you their record against each other. Certain things absolutely stand out. It's like you have to bowl left arm against this guy, or you must bowl slow spin against this guy, or whatever it is, right? It's some of the stats scream at you, but I don't think IPL teams look at those enough and go, well, okay, let's make a decision based on the cricket that's happening right now. Maybe this really good bowler who happened, maybe he can bowl at left-handers now. It was like Tim David can't ever bat against spin. What's he done the last 12 months? Looks amazing, right? People change. People get better at cricket, particularly these elite performers, right? So let them try, give them a go and let them do stuff. And then that some teams don't look at it because you get Ravi Ashwin bowling at Narayan, like feeding him his favorite food that he just belts every ball for 4. You're like, well, stop bowling that man to that man because he loves him, and look at all the numbers. He's hoofing him everywhere and he never gets out. Like, stop it, just bowl somebody else. So
cricket has never finished at the close of play. It lives in the arguments, the memories, the comment sections. Cricket makes you talk. Combox is entering that chat.
All right, and we're finally back on. And in all fairness, I know people would want to complain that we're late once again, but we were 2 overs late in the first innings. We're just 2 balls late in the second. So that is a marked improvement. What do you say, Rob?
Well, I think they left some runs out there, and they're going to have to bowl well to defend. There's not much in this. This is quite a close game, I think.
Oh, you think so? I mean, not that the DC jersey didn't give it away straight off, but I do believe that this is Delhi's game to lose. I do think that 210 probably is not too big a target. What is the market saying right now, though?
It's favourites the bowlers. It was about 60-40 at the start of the chase. Obviously, the chase has started well, so that'll be a bit shorter now. But yeah, 60-40 game. We know that GT's bowling attack is good. The thing that Delhi have done every time so far, which is a surprise, is lost early wickets. And when you open with Nissanka and KL, you don't expect to lose early wickets every time. So I guess their route to chasing this is set the platform and then bang. It's Siraj is getting a bit of swing in these first few balls, but he's not landing it in the right place. So Nissanka has just stood there and smacked him. But KL hasn't got a run yet. I mean, he's scored 1 run, I think, but he needs to stop getting out in ridiculous ways. Now, I think today we're going to see a very low intent KL Rahul who will knock the ball around and make sure he doesn't get out early. That's what I think. I don't think we should see that, but I think we will.
Interesting. That's the opposite of what Kada Financial had to say, because they've said that I think KL Rahul has fixed this mindset after looking at the 2025 IPL. So clearly, yeah, they at least have some high hopes from the guy. Why do you think, though, that he's going to play a very low into knock today?
Because he got caught on the rope off his first ball against Shami, and then he tickled one down the leg side in the second game, and he hasn't got any runs. So I think he will want to, as Nissanka plays the shot of the match, an absolutely beautiful straight drive for 4. I think he will just want to get himself into the tournament, a bit like Butler did in the first game, where Butler just got like a runner ball 30 and was like, I just need to bat a bit, lads. And if Nissanka's doing this at the other end, then he doesn't need to tee off. You know, they've got 14 off the first over now, thanks to 3 fours from Nissanka, who batted very in that first over. I mean, it's not a good ball from Siraj. He's bowled 3 poor deliveries in that over. But if you want to see how you're meant to play a straight drive, just watch that shot.
Beautiful shot on the up. Well played, Nissanka. Again, he's been in a rich vein of form in 2026. Great to see that just come on board. But Rob, what's with the hat though? An India cap? Any
Why not?
reason? All right,
Why
just
not?
asking.
Yeah, I'm a fan of India. I'm a fan of lots of teams. I just hate teams that do bad things tactically. That's what annoys me. And obviously dropping catches. We only saw one, but it was important. The Miller drop when he was on about 44, I think, at the time, Shubman Gill. So here's Rabada to KL, which could be interesting. Because Rabada to KL so far is 93 for 3 off 68. So they will both be fancying this matchup, I think, because they both had success against each other, if you know what I mean. It wasn't like yesterday when Hetmeyer cannot play Bumrah. He can't play him. Doesn't know how to, doesn't know where the ball's coming from, doesn't know where the ball's going to. Just looked like he was batting with a toothpick yesterday. But yeah, it's quite an interesting matchup, Rabada to KL, because they're both out of form, really.
I was about to bring that up. I mean, it must be a very difficult matchup for you to watch, because you've already made it clear what your thoughts on Rabada and KL. You're expecting him to play a low into knock. I don't think that's something you would want to watch any which ways.
No. I mean, when you're chasing, you have to get the tempo of your innings right, and you don't want to put pressure on your partner, because Nissanka's natural game is not smacking it everywhere. I mean, Nissanka is a really, really good player, and he's had a great couple of years. He's been one of the best players in the world the last couple of years, Nissanka. But he doesn't need a partner, as KL absolutely climbs into one. That'll make him feel a lot better, who is just knocking it around and trying to get himself to 20. Rabada has bowled one right in the slot to KL there, and he got 2 runs less than he should have done off that ball. He's got 4 off it, but really...
Wait. I think we've lost you there, Rob. You can hear us? Oh, yeah, perfect. You're back on.
Yeah. So Rabada bowled one right in the slot to KL there, and he should have hit it for 6. But he slightly mistimed it. The ball turns over in his hand a little bit, and he gets 4. It's hard to criticise someone for scoring a 4, but that was such a bad ball from Rabada. He bowled 2 good ones, 1 bad one, and now he's gone 2 wide. And KL has taken him for a single.
The talk about being harsh, though. After 4 being hit, you're like, oh, come on, Rahul. That was a 6. That was a 6. No.
New favourites. Delhi are favourites now. They were 40% to knock these off, and now they're favourites, because the bowling thus far has looked a bit toothless. But we've only had 10 balls.
No, but the GT attack in general has really struggled in the power play so far. They've taken just the 1 wicket across the 2 games, so 12 overs. They're averaging 124. Not particularly a phase that they've dominated. And again, that's where I'm expecting Rahul to do well, because he does prefer facing the Pacers a lot more. And GT is one lineup that's just got Pacers galore. They've got just the 1 spinner in Rashid. We're still not sure who their impact player would be. So, that's still sort of something to watch out for.
Yeah, Prasid is in. No surprise. Prasid is in for Shahrukh Khan, who had a lovely day for his money.
Prasad was also part of the impact subs. My bad, I did not see that.
Yeah, so we'll see how they use Prasad today, because they've used him completely differently so far.
Yeah.
That could have been another 4, but Butler's just done an amazing stop behind the wicket.
But
yeah,
what do you make? Yeah.
Go ahead.
What do you make of the fact that DC did use a lot of spin? You saw how the surface played in the first innings. The wicket of Joss Butler, especially the bounce, was staying a bit low. Ngidi also preferred sticking to his slow ones. And then you see GT, they have 3 pacers who just bowl pace on, who don't really have a slow one. And then you've got just the one spinner in Rashid Khan, who himself is not a slow spinner, he by any stretch of imagination. Very much a quickish 100 kmph kind of spinner. So very different approaches to the game.
I think basically the good bowlers did well, and Vipraj is a spinner, right? And he bowled a horrible over. 5 of those balls were dreadful, and he got belted out the attack. Axar didn't look all that threatening. I don't think it turned much. The thing is, the ball that got Butler, when that happened, and Butler was playing unbelievably well, when that ball happened, you're like, that must have stayed low. There must be something in this pitch. But I don't think there really was. Mukesh got completely dealt with. And I think sides are now realising what an enormous threat. Is my sound working here? I'm getting weird noises coming through my microphone.
It's working all right so far.
Okay. What we got was... right, I've lost my train of thought there. Sorry, sides are now realising how huge a threat Ngidi is, because they didn't attack him once. And the first time they played a big shot against Ngidi, which was Shubman Gill when he was 70, he got out.
Yeah.
And it shows what a huge threat Lungi Ngidi is these days.
That is true. Let's see. Meanwhile, Siraj back for his second over, 20 for no loss at the end of 2 Delhi Capitals. Let's see how that plays out. Karthik asks, Akshay, as an RCB fan, do you think RCB letting go of Siraj was a good move, since he was very inconsistent? Rob, I've been trying really hard to sort of remove that tag of being an RCB fan off of me. For some reason, I want to come clean and become a neutral, but it feels like no one wants to see me that way. Everyone wants to just look at me as an RCB fan. Yeah, does not make me feel really nice, though. I think the sound's all right now, Rob. Just speak once.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
So Siraj is somebody who he's had the odd spell in the IPL. I remember one where he was just completely unplayable at the start. And if he gets the early swing or he gets an early wicket, he can be a proper threat. The thing with Siraj is he offers you 0 with the bat and very little in the field. So he must be really good at bowling to come off. And when you've got Prasad, who offers you very little with the bat and not masses in the field, in the same lineup, Siraj has to be really good at bowling to justify being an expensive, highly paid, season-long pick, right? And he's not good enough. He's not as good at bowling as Prasad is. He's not as good at a wicket threat in the IPL anymore because the ball doesn't swing as much as it used to. And Siraj, when it doesn't swing, can be got at. It can be whacked. His numbers, Siraj, are fine, but they're not great. They're not good enough. Like I say, if you're an Indian international, no question of the guy's talent, right? But if you're an Indian international who's going to play every single game for your IPL team, the numbers that he's putting up in the last couple of years, he's going at 8.5 and over against left-handers, 8 and a bit and over against right-handers. He goes at 10 at the death, 8 in the power play. They're just very standard numbers. He doesn't get that many wickets. He doesn't have much mystery about him. He's just fine. And they've actually pulled this start back after the first over, to be fair to them. But I think to answer that question, as Siraj just gets dealt with down the ground, I do think it was a good move to let him go. But didn't they have Lungi and Ngidi in their ranks? They could do with him right now, couldn't they?
Fair enough. I do agree. I don't think RCB could be faulted for releasing Siraj because they were clear in what they were looking for. And bringing in someone like a Bhuvneshwar Kumar, I think they've got a more than able replacement there for themselves. And once again, the bat seems to have twisted in his hand, when he went for that shot. Second time in as many boundaries for Rahul, that's happened, which is not something we usually see. But yeah, So far, Rob has been bang on about Rahul really playing a low intent knock because he's 12 of 9 after scoring 2 boundaries. So quite a few dot balls in there.
Yeah, I don't think KL looks in form at all to me because he's tried, he's missed a couple. The ones he got a 2 straight down the ground that if he's in form is a 4. Like I say, the 4 that he got off Rabada was a complete pie, and the bat
Yep.
didn't quite. He's not quite lining up how you would expect him to because that ball hasn't done very much and he's completely missed it. That's beat him on the inside edge, I think.
Yeah. Not often, again. Not something we see often. Continue, sorry.
So yeah, they're just checking the snicker here. He didn't hit it, but KL is one of the best ever at like getting 30 in the IPL. It's him and Siddharthan who didn't manage to do it today. He got quite a good ball early, didn't he? That was the only good ball Mukesh bowled in his spell, near enough. Yeah, this is an okay start, but if I was a DC fan, I'd be worried about KL's form right now. He needs to get one out the middle, like Nissanka has, because Nissanka looked settled after he got that one away. You just think there's no worries about his form now. He looks fine, but KL looks. Very rarely say this about KL when he's faced 10 balls, but he doesn't look like he's happy at the crease yet, does he?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He doesn't look in control, which once again is not something we see a lot of, especially in the IPL. Irrespective of how he's played in the international cricket, he's always been a bank at the IPL. He will give you those runs, probably not at the strike rate that you would want him to. But one thing you can expect from him is runs, which has not been the case so far for Delhi as well this time. Meanwhile, Singer asks us, Rob, how would you look at Gill's knock? What would you say? Or rather, would you say was any good today?
Yeah, it was some good. It wasn't amazing. There was a bit in the middle where I thought, if Miller would have caught him, that knock wouldn't have gone down as any good, really. 44 off 30 or whatever it was. I don't think he played great, but I think he will, for as far as the season goes for GT, that's an important knock for him because he missed one because of his neck spasms or whatever it was. He will feel great for that. For getting the 70, and he's into the tournament now, and that's really, really good for GT. But 70 or 45 in 2020 cricket these days does not win you matches on good pitches. You need to be you need to turn that into the 100 or 50, that kind of strike rate. And he didn't go on because he tried to attack Ngidi. He could have had some Mukesh pies to feast on at the end. I don't know. Like, it was fine. It wasn't great. It was fine. Rabada back on to Nissanka now. What do you think? Like, I thought he was fine, but it wasn't exciting or anything.
I mean, again, if we just look at the score, 70 or 45, in absolute terms, is not a bad knock at all. I don't think it was net negative or anything like that. But given the fact that he had a very slow, sluggish start, he was 30 of 24 at a point in time before he really took off. And that's probably what's cost GT, easily at least 15, 20 runs, if not more. They could have very well been sitting on a 230-run target that they would be defending, which would have, placed them much better. But that's where I felt just the way he started, and like we've spoken about Rahul, where he's not looked in control. That wasn't the case with Gill. It's not like he was mistiming the shots. It's not like he wasn't able to read the surface. It did seem like he got a hang of the surface. It seemed like he was reading the balls well, but he chose to play within himself. He just chose to go for the singles, chose to rotate strike instead of actually playing a few shots. And after that, of course, the last 21 balls went for about 40 runs, which I guess is not too bad. But having seen 70 of 25, 39 of 15, and sixes becoming such a regular event, you would say that, what's happened there?
Yeah, so basically, Rabada has bowled a full toss, which is almost a beamer, but it's kind of dipped to just below KL's waist. And KL is really lucky to still be there because he flapped at it with one hand. He took one hand off the bat. I think he thought the ball was going to hit him in the chest and it was going to be a no ball, but it dipped a little bit. And those deliveries, if you're a classical batsman like KL is, are probably quite hard to play, a dipping full toss. But Rabada hasn't tried to bowl that ball, but he's got him in a complete mess, and all KL can do is fend it. He's lucky that there's no man there at square leg, because it would have been he's just dropped into no man's land. But he's very lucky to still be there for his 13 off 12 KL, and it's been
Rabada,
bad knock so far. He needs to get going, doesn't he?
I
That'll
mean,
help.
you're speaking about Rahul being lucky. Rabada's been luckier. 2 full tosses and as many deliveries, and none of them have gone for a boundary. Both Nissanka and Rahul missing out there.
Yeah,
Come
the
on,
universe
guys.
realigns now, though. He's just bowled a rubbish ball down leg, and KL has just picked it up and plonked it into the stands where it belongs.
Perfect.
So, not good signs for GT so far. They need to use a different bowler. It'd be interesting to see whether they go Prasid early, or maybe, which they used to do in the past, give Rashid Khan a power play over. They used to do that if they needed him. They're not done it for a while.
They've got another bowler up their sleeve. They've got Ashok Kumar, or Ashok Sharma, beg your pardon. He's also not looked too bad so far.
I think he's been really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Another name that they will potentially, because they've usually used them in the 4th, 6th over in the second half of the power play. So we could potentially see him coming in as first change in place of Siraj from that end. At least I don't want to see how he goes against the likes of Rahul, because Rahul is once again a very good player of high pace. So it'll be interesting to see how Ashok fares.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed watching him so far, and I think he's done, for a kid, someone with very limited experience at this level, I think he's looked really good. But it's tough assignment coming in to bowl against these two, who don't often give you chances. Like half a chance there from KL. He's, like I say, he's lucky to still be there at the moment, but he'll feel a lot better having got that 6 away off the middle of the bat. It was a bad ball, but he did get rid of it. And Rabada's bowled another full toss there, and I'm not sure he's got away with it. I mean, this is actually, from a spectator's point of view, quite bad cricket. We're watching some all-time excellent cricket players here. Rabada bowling to KL Rahul, right? It's only a few years ago that Rabada got the purple cap and KL got the orange cap in the same year, wasn't it? And they're two brilliant players, and we're watching Rabada bowl filthy full tosses to KL and KL flapping at them. That's what we're watching at the moment. I'm telling the truth. Actually, you can sigh.
No. My sigh wasn't in response to you. My sigh was in response to seeing that shot from KL. The ball just happened, and I was like, "How do you just delicately cover drive that full toss, man? Just fucking bang it out of the stadium. What are you doing?" Oh, jeez.
What did I say they might do here is bring on Rashid Khan in the power play, and that's what they've done.
Interesting call.
Which I'm not overly surprised by, because, like you said, if you bring Ashok on now, he's got to face two that have faced some balls and have dealt with the senior guys with absolutely zero problems. They're 36 or 4 overs. So Rashid gets a go at Nissanka. He'll be aiming at the stumps here, Rashid, I think.
I don't think he has too many other options there in terms of what he does.
First ball, very good from Rashid Khan. It's pitched just outside off, and it's going to hit the top and middle, and Nissanka backs away and just pats it away for no run. Very, very interestingly poised game, this. And the thing is, Delhi have... so Gujarat are now big favourites from where it was, which is surprising.
And not often, actually, have I seen Rashid start off with a googly. Well done. That was a surprise for me. Sorry, you were saying, Rob.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the market is so in love with Gujarat after this start, because it's a perfectly reasonable start. They haven't gone flying out the gates here, but considering that Delhi were favourites after the first over, and now they're getting to the kind of 41-42% range, that surprises me. Maybe the market thinks that the pitch has changed a bit and batting has got more difficult, or it doesn't like the look of KL or whatever. But I think they're doing fine. They're not doing great, but they're doing fine.
Meanwhile, Rahul says that ESPN Cricinfo has GT at 75%. I don't know if he's gotten that wrong, or has Cricinfo gotten that wrong. Let me check.
There's no point looking at the Cricinfo or Crick Buzz or anything that you see on the screen when it comes to what the percentage chance is. Just look at the betting market and it tells you.
Cricinfo has. They've given GT a 76.33% chance. That's ridiculous.
Yes, just wrong. Yeah. So if any of these high-profile websites with billions of viewers want to get in touch, I can give them an accurate predictor rather than one that just posts random numbers and plucks numbers out of the sky. They might as well get like an octopus to do it, or a goat or something to just run towards the number that they want, because it's just complete nonsense. Rashid has bowled a good over here, but
a brilliant over. Did you see the fifth ball, by the way? I mean, that ripped, that turned square past KL Rahul.
That's why the market loves the defence here. But we've had the low intent bad KL, I think, as well. Like, yeah, he's got his 21, but he's got 21 off 18 in the power play, and he's had 3 or 4 dreadful deliveries. And if Suryavanshi had have had the balls that KL has had so far, he'd be on about 70. like he'd have easily got his 50. He'd have easily got his 50 to those deliveries. He's not missing out on the full tosses, is he? He's smashing one after 6 both sides of the wicket. I think they're going Ashok now. This is a big call. Ashok for the 6th. So Rashid put the brakes on, and now they're going Ashok to try and get the wicket.
That's a lot of pressure on the lad.
Big over.
Because we always know batters tend to try and attack the most in the 6th over, and DC in particular, having had a fairly slow start, they will want to try and maximize this last over for sure.
And the first ball is a drop catch, and you do not want to drop KL. So he's backed away, played another terrible shot, which is hung in the air for ages. And Phillips, as he often does, looks incredible as far as the athleticism goes. But it looked like somebody had shot him out of a cannon, and he is nowhere near catching that ball. I think he's so excited that he gets to run and dive. He does the running and diving, but where the ball is. So he hasn't quite run fast enough. And then at the end, he puts in this massive Superman dive. He had plenty of time to get to that ball. The issue was he didn't run fast enough initially. He didn't track it. So KL...
But maybe that was the plan, so that he can put in that Superman dive, because he loves doing that.
Yeah, I think considering how much ability Glenn Phillips has got in the field, that was a real chance, because that ball was in the air for ages. He had absolutely ages to catch that ball. And
that dive, man, he's horizontal. That dive was incredible. I'd pay to watch that dive. I'd pay to watch Glenn Phillips just dive across the field. Don't do anything else. Just keep diving left, right, and centre.
I want my fielders to catch the ball, particularly the good ones. And the next ball is a single, and then Nissanka just feasts on a bad ball that time and gets 4. And all of a sudden, GT right back in the front seat, aren't they? In the driver's seat now, with 49 for none off 5.3. Feels a whole lot better with because the thing is, they've been icing chases when they've been in a mess at the start, and this time
attempted slow one there, but well done. Nissanka picked it up, and of course picked the bones out of the ball as well. Well done. Also, another thing about the market, I don't think the market is accounted for me. I've worn a jersey, and each time the jersey I've worn has won. So where's that? I mean, that should count for something for sure.
I really do feel for the kid here, because he's getting whacked now. I think that's a 6 straight down the ground. He's getting whacked now, and on another day, he gets KL with his first ball.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, he's none for 15 or 4 deliveries. But catches many matches.
But that was a good shot, man. Pace on 148 click. Sure, it was a ball in the slot, but you have such little time, and for him to be able to hit that straight down the ground, well done, man. Well done. That's a fantastic shot. Exactly what we thought, of course, last over with the power play. The batters were going to go for their shots, and Pathum seems to be loving the pace, like Chaser07_18 mentions. Well done. 15-4. Do you think this could be a 20-25 run over? Last few deliveries, any more boundaries?
Yeah, it's going now. It helps that I've just seen one of them, but Ashok has bowled another poor ball, and he's lucky that it's only gone for 4. Like, if Nissanka had spent another hour in the gym this week, that would have been 6 as well. It's not looking good now, and Rashid put the brakes on, and a combination of Glenn Phillips and Ashok Sharma have just taken them off again, and this looks like curtains now, because Nissanka has gone 4-4 the last 2 balls of that over. So they started the over on 40, and they finished it on 63. And as I said before the over started, this is a huge over in the context of the game, and they have gone from. I mean, the market's going crazy here. I don't really understand why. Are we watching it on some massive delay or something? Here we go. They're properly favourites now. Finally.
Yeah.
The market
5 bounties of that over, by the way. Jeez.
So the market sort of switched around, didn't know who to make favourites, looked at the spin. Are we checking for a no ball here? Because
oh my word,
one of my screens, Menon, isn't it? The umpire has got his hand on his ear. Maybe he's waiting for a sound. No, we've just got the timeout now, actually.
Okay, perfect. But 63 for no loss, again, having seen that Rashid Khan over, it does make you wonder, have GT missed the trick by not adding another spinner in their ranks? Because the ball was turning square. Potentially another spinner would have helped them sort of, be a bit more defensive against the DC batters. And who do they got? Who've they got? They've got only Glenn Phillips, and to some extent, of course, Shah Rukh Khan also bowls a fair bit in the TNPL and the domestic circuit, but not so much at the IPL.
No, they've got Sai Kishore, who should be in the side, without a shadow of a doubt. He was brilliant last year. He's not playing today, but they've subbed Shah Rukh Khan out, so it's not going to be him.
Washi is there.
I guess Washington will have to do some bowling, because you can't really give the ball back to Rabada now. You can't really give the ball back to Ashok, who's just gone for 23. And this is how important drop catches can be, because, like I say, if he takes that catch there, gets rid of KL, Ashok is bowling at a new batsman with his tail up. Instead, he has to bowl at Nissanka, who's in incredible form. Yeah. And Nissanka's just shelled him for 18 off 4.
Yeah.
And this is one of those strategic timeouts where they actually need to get their heads together here, GT, and go right, lads. What's the plan? What are we going to do now? I think they have to keep Rashid on from one end for at least 1, probably 2 overs, the way this has gone, and get Prasid into the game before it's too late. I think every other pacer has had a bad time of it, so I think it's time for him. But yeah, I think moving forward, I would always look to find a way of getting Sai Kishore into the side.
It's hard. It's hard to understand that, especially because this is something I brought up earlier as well. Amongst the 5 impact subs mentioned by GT, they've got Manav Suthar, they've got Jayant Yadav, so they've got 2 spinners, but Sai Kishore isn't one of them. It's beyond my belief as to what's happening there. Why haven't they even bothered bringing him as part of the 5 impact subs? Fine, you don't want to play him, I understand, but why is he not even a part of your plans?
So maybe he's injured for all we know. Like none of these teams tell us much, do they? Prasid is into the attack now, so they've taken Rashid off from that end where he bowled really, really well, and they put Prasid in now. I would have given Rash another one from that end. Maybe he's switching ends, I don't know. But here's Prasid anyway, bowling at KL, and they've basically got to get one of these out now, or they're going to be staring down the barrel.
I agree. I agree with you that Rashid should probably not have been made to switch ends. I'm assuming that Rashid will probably continue from the other end. They could have just waited to bring in Prasid the next over and replace Ashok from that end. So, interesting choice this.
Yeah, and they have the luxury now, considering how well the power play has gone for them. They have the luxury, if they want, to just see off Prasid and, do what GT did against Ngidi and just go, okay, you're the biggest threat, so we're not going to attack you. We're not going to throw. We're going to get 6 or 7 off the over. That's fine, but we can afford to now because we got 63 off the power play and we're none down with all these players to come. So if they want to, they can just sit on Prasid here and go, fine, we're just going to burn through your overs. We've got plenty in hand. We've got 10 wickets in hand. We've got the most informed bat in the comp, who Rizvi, who I assume will be subbed in. I mean, I don't think that Rana is the best fit at number 3 in this lineup for Delhi. I really don't. And I'm not sure he'll last the season there. There may be 1 or 2 more goes.
Ooh, that's. But who do you play instead of Rana? Who they've got Karun Nair.
Loads of options. They've got Nair, they've got Perel, and they've got Pretty Shaw, who can all bat in the top 3, anywhere in the top 3, and they can all split up KL and Nissanka if they want to. They won't do now. They won't change those 2 now. But if Rana fails, I think he probably gets dropped for the next one, or he may get 2 more goes. I mean, he's been a really, really good IPL player, Rana. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's a good fit at number 3 in this team.
Interesting. Robbie was expecting a good game from Rana today, so let's see if that actually happens or not.
I think this one's just hit the thigh pad of Nissanka. So it's 3 off 4 balls of Prasid so far. Yeah, he's just come off his back thigh. One thing I am pleased about is Josh Butler was back today. That was good fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was great fun to see that, and yeah, hopefully it is a sign of things to come for GT and Butler as well. All right. Meanwhile, let's just take this chat from Rohit Kumar Jha, who's also asked us to take the super chat. Rob, why does ECB keep pulling out of the Euro Nations Cup? Thoughts on that, Rob?
The Euro Nations Cup, I don't know enough about it, to be honest. Is this the one that is affiliated with the ECN? Is it that one?
I'm not sure who's it affiliated with. It's supposed to be Europe's version of an Asia Cup. So Netherlands, Scotland, Ireland, England, and probably a couple more European, basically a cricketing version of Euros.
Right, so that's the one that Cricket Ireland started talking about, I think. So they absolutely should be in it, but the ECB are idiots, right? KL has just absolutely smoked Prasid, and that might get him into his work now. Not a good delivery from Prasid. It's sort of in the slot, but KL has completely freed the arms, and that's the first one that has come straight off the middle. The Rabada 6 was easy, but that one, he properly freed his arms there and climbed into it, KL. But to answer that one, why they keep pulling out of the Euro Nations Cup? Well, they're idiots, the ECB, like over and over again, tried and tested. It would be great, and it would bring on cricket in other areas. You know, if and England, you know, with the workload of everybody, could send out, players that you might not necessarily expect to get in England's first team, and give them a go and let them play against, Ireland and Scotland and maybe Netherlands. I assume that they would be in it. Italy deserve a run in that sort of competition. There's a tournament in rugby called the Six Nations, right, which used to be the Five Nations when I was a kid, and then they added Italy. They let Italy play in it, and Italy are now good enough to be beating some of the teams because they've had multiple exposure. Argentina now in rugby get to play against the likes of South Africa and Australia and New Zealand, which brings Argentinian rugby on note. And I think cricket forgets sometimes, because of all the money the people at the top have got, that it still has a duty to bring other countries on, right? And letting England, or a version of England, play in a Euro Nations Cup or whatever, hopefully it would have a better name than that, against some of these sides that when they turn up in the World Cup, Italy gave England a right old scare, didn't they? Nepal should have beaten England. The gap isn't all that big, and it would get much smaller, the gap between the big teams and the so-called lesser teams, if they were allowed to play each other more. And that's cricket's fault, right? So it's a good question. Hopefully there will be that sort of competition. I mean, it doesn't have to be T20. There's nothing wrong with like an Asia Cup, or some sort of 50 over comp that could be put together. I don't know. Like I don't like, if you're asking me why the ECB do anything, the answer is I don't know, because they're all mad.
I mean, for what it's worth, even South Africa are coming up with an Africa's tournament. I'm not sure what the tournament it's called. It's called the Africa's Nations Tournament or something. So it starts later this year. So it's supposed to be between South Africa, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Kenya. I want to say even Uganda is a part of it. So they've got 6-7 nations who will be playing. And I agree with you. I completely agree with you that it is just as important for cricket, ICC, and each of the independent boards to understand that it is their responsibility to expand, to grow the sport. So I think it's almost a lost cause in that no one cares about growing the sport. They're all more than happy just filling up their coffers and moving around from one place to another. Ooh, that googly turned viciously there from Rashid. And interesting to watch his pace as well. Rashid, he's been primarily bowling under 90 clicks so far on the surface, which is what's also been helping him get that spin. If you bowl in excess of 100, you're just not letting the ball do its thing. So good to see him sort of gauge the pace quickly on and adjust to it.
This is old school Rashid Khan. This is
So-
the one where he's they're just seeing him off. They're just going, yeah, 2 overs, none for 9. Who cares? We're going to hit all the pace. And pace looks really, really easy so far. Even Prasid's over wasn't all that threatening. And when he bowled the bad ball, that's the thing on here, right? If you bowl a bad ball, it goes for 4 or 6. And both sides have done that. And we all said at halftime, they left 10, 20 runs out there, didn't they, GT? Which they often do with how they set up. You know, this whole let's defer the risk, let's keep the wickets in hand. But what are you keeping them in hand for? You know, why? Again, they get 20 less than they should have got, and Rashid Khan doesn't get a go at batting. It doesn't make any sense to me.
What also doesn't help is the fact that none of their pacers are exactly known for their slow ones. Sure, Prasid does have a slow one, but Siraj, Rabada, how good are they with it? You can't really say that. On the other hand, if you look at Engidi, what he's done with his slow ones, even Nattu's got an excellent one. So, yeah, it's going to be
Wicket,
difficult.
Nisanka's gone.
And who's the bowler? Prasid?
Prasid, it didn't look like a great ball to me, but he just whacked it straight to, I think it's mid-off. Prasid, first ball of the new over. Tawati has taken an easy catch. He's just banged it in slightly short of a length. Nisanka is into the shot slightly too early and easily taken by Tawatia, but that's a massive wicket at that point. He's the big wicket there, isn't he, in the partnership, because he was going so well.
Yeah.
And bowling impressive from that end, obviously a good idea.
That's true. I mean, in hindsight, it's worked. Yeah. A soft dismissal that. And slower ball says unknown nobody. I don't think that was slow. That was a slower ball. That was pace on for sure. So, not sure what you're on about, mate. Meanwhile, someone else also asked us, Andy asks us, is Akil IPL level? Can he bat at number 8 in this era? Rob, what do you make of Akil Hussain? And do you see CSK giving him an actual shot this time?
He's one of those players that he might end up getting a run because CSK are doing so badly. Like when CSK have a bad season, they have a stinker, don't they? Like they can really challenge for finishing bottom when they get it wrong. You can't have a franchise with their history and success turning up with 2 overseas. It doesn't feel right to me. They've got to sort something out there. He may actually come straight in for Noor because Noor, possibly because the pitches aren't suiting him. There's no turn in the pitches that he's played on so far, but Noor hasn't got a wicket and he's getting whacked. So he may actually come in as, but the thing with Akil is he's a power play guy, right? And Chennai are really struggling to work out what to do at the death. It's the other end of the innings they're struggling with. I don't think they really need Akil. Akil's batting is really overrated, actually. I think basically he got a brilliant and entirely pointless 50 against England once. I think it might have been with Romario, where England had got millions and millions in the first innings, and then they just fed 4 more for KL, by the way. They just fed Akil and Romario a load of dross, and they both got really easy 50s. But whenever Akil is needed for the West Indies to get runs, he hasn't done it. Like, he hasn't won a game with the bat, I don't think. He hasn't got many runs around the circuit, and because of the impact sub rule, I wouldn't expect him to bat much if he did come in for Chennai anyway. So to answer that question, I don't think he's a number 8. You could use him as a pinch hitter if you wanted to, but they've got way better options than him for that. I think he's a power play spinner. I'm not sure Chennai need that, but I do think he'll probably get a go. Because Chennai are underperforming so far, and KL is back now. So KL has taken over from where Nisanka has left off because he's just hit Prasid for a lovely 4, and then Prasid has then gone slower ball, but he's landed it entirely in the slot, and KL's onto it and just pummels him down the ground for 6. Like, it was. I think maybe he saw in the action. There's not often I can pick something out of the hand watching it on the telly, but it was very, very clear that he's gone slower. But he's tried one of those where you do your hand across the ball, right, and it's just fed him. It's landed right in the slot, and KL just
Well played. Yeah.
very much.
Does seem like he's read it way too early. Well done on Rahul. And attempted slow one. It also seemed like one of those slow ones where he was attempting to add a bit more backspin to get that dip. It wasn't to be the case. It just sat on the surface after pitching, and yeah, KL was up to task.
Yeah, similar ball coming up, and it's pace on, but it's in the slot, and it's had the same result. So this has flipped completely since the wicket, which was only 4 balls ago. They've gone from being 40% to 60%. And that's huge. It's a huge 4 balls.
Short.
Basically, Rana got KL on strike, and he's back. So the high intent KL has been brilliant. The low intent one was rubbish earlier. He's going to end up, if he gets a run off this ball, with a 29 ball 50. And considering where he was, that is remarkable. He's got more than that. He's got 29 ball 53 because he's cut this one away.
4
for 4, yeah.
That's a 23 run over in that case?
Yeah, it must be. 21.
Or 21.
Yeah, so when this anchor was doing the run scoring, KL was struggling, the bat was turning over in his hand. You're like, he was 21 off 18, KL, and he's just he's got 53 off 29 now. What a turnaround that is from a very, very good player down the years. But the high intent KL is a lot better than the low intent one. Jeez. And that 4 balls of batting has turned this game completely on its head.
Completely agree. I mean, what the required run rate's now down to 10.1. It's going to be really hard. 10.3 probably. But yeah, I mean, incredible the last 4-5 balls. And KL in general has taken a liking to Prasid, because even in Prasid's first over, he was the one scoring that 4 off of him. So yeah, I mean, the both state made so clearly KL does know a thing or two about Prasid and the way he functions. And meanwhile, we've got an interesting question. Rob, is that Trump's photo behind you? I did not know you're a Trump fan. Oh, is that the case?
Is that what behind me?
Trump's photo. Is there Donald Trump somewhere lurking in your bedroom? I don't see any Trump photo there.
No. There would stick these questions on the screen if you can, or are they not super chats? No, I would never have a picture of Donald Trump. If it's this that they're asking about,
that's the one. That's the one, probably.
Come on now. If you don't know who these people are, you need to get yourself an education.
I mean, Martin. No, what's his name? I'm forgetting. He's the guy in Only Murders in the Building. That's how I know him.
Okay, Steve Martin and John Candy from the best comedy film of all time, as Rana is out LBW trying to reverse sweep Rashid Khan, which is a very bad idea. The ball is directly on the stumps. He's gone for the reverse sweep. It's hit him on the boot. Rana thinks it's going down with the angle and has reviewed it immediately. Again, another really big moment. This game is swinging back and forth, back and forth. I don't know whether this is out or not. Umpires think
that's out.
Rashid was very confident. If he hasn't got a scratch on it, I didn't think it was going down myself. It always looks close to the bat when you see these replays. I'm not sure. What does the market think? Market doesn't know. None of us know.
Didn't look like there was any bad there. And Alex Willie, meanwhile, says, I don't think anyone here will know this. I'm guessing he's talking about what you think is the world's greatest comedy film. What's the name of the movie, by the way?
Well, Planes, Trains and Automobiles. And it's not even close. It's the best comedy film ever made.
It's slapstick? Is it
it's everything. It's everything. Go and watch it. Just go now. Go and put it on now. Turn the rest of this game off and put it on the telly next to you. It's amazing.
But for that, it should be up on any of the OTT platforms. Is it on Netflix, Prime? Is it somewhere? Well,
if they've got any sense, it will be. I don't know. Yeah, surely it is. They're taking quite a long time to review this.
Let me check. But in terms of comedies, I do like a couple of British. I want to say British comedies. I mean, Guy Ritchie and whatever he's done, everything from Snatch and Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, all of that old school, very dry British humor. That's something I thoroughly enjoyed.
He's nicked it. He's got a tiny scratch on it, and he'll be
Oh,
not
has
out
he?
here. Um,
Jeez.
just off the top edge. It was a bad shot, and he's very lucky, but he's got a feather on it. I am that old. I saw Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels at the cinema when it came out. That's how old I am.
Wait, I thought it had a limited release or something because that was Guy Ritchie's debut, so it didn't really get a lot of a lot of show times. Interesting.
I'd heard a lot about it. It was released, I think, 98.
7?
I think
8.
98 in the UK. And yeah, I saw it at the cinema. I remember it very well as Rashid drops one way too short. That's the anger ball because he thought he had him out a second ago, and Rana deals with it. So he had him on toast. He's just bowled an absolute half tracker, and it's been put away for 4 by Rana. Again, that should have been 6 because it was a half tracker that sat up very nicely.
Well, down there, let's see 3 more balls to go. Oh, of course, you've seen the boundary already. Aye. That was a bad ball. That was a bad ball then. So, are you a fan of Guy Ritchie movies, by the way, Rob?
Yeah, sorry, Rana's out. He's just hit the next ball straight up in the air, and Sajid Hassan has moved in from, I guess, I don't know, where's that? Maybe long off. It looks like Sajid Hassan had to cover a fair bit of ground there. Either way, Rana's gone for a not very well made 5, and that might be the end of his IPL because that ball was probably there to be hit as well, and he's just clothed it, and Sajid Hassan has taken an easy catch, who for some inexplicable reason he was completely off the ground when he took that catch. So he's done well to hold on to it in the end. This game is going back and forth, and it's really, really fun. But yeah, Rana goes for, what was that, 5?
5 of 6.
Yeah. As we absolutely should. Going back to Guy Ritchie films, I'm a huge fan. I thought Lock, Stock is one of my favourite films. I think it's amazing. If you haven't watched that, as soon as this game's finished, watch Planes, Trains and Automobiles, and then Lock, Stock. That is a great night. And then watch Snatch straight away after that, because Snatch is brilliant as well. And he's still going, isn't he? He's still knocking out TV and films.
But now he's got into a lot more. He's got into that serious genre. His last movie, if I'm not wrong, was with what's that guy's name, man? Donnie Darko, Jake Gyllenhaal. So he's done that Afghanistan movie. Like this guy, he's a US Marine who's based in the Afghanistan thing. So it was a very serious movie. So yeah, The Covenant. That's the one. Thank you.
I've seen that. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Too serious. I like comedy. I'm a huge fan of comedies. So I like I like Rock and Roll. I liked even Gentleman. All of those were damn good. Like of Guy Ritchie. Not of course the one with what was his girlfriend's name? Why am I blanking out on the name? The one that he did with her. The popular lady. Jeez.
He was with Madonna for a while.
Madonna. Thank you. Yeah, he's done a movie with Madonna. I blanked out on the name for his.
Another one. Rizvi has been cleaned up. First ball by Rashid Khan. Bowled him. It's the wrong one, I think. Absolutely brilliant delivery. He's just not picked it at all and has been bowled middle and off. And that is vintage Rashid Khan, who is just... The game had been turned on its head and it's just been turned back. That is unbelievable bowling from Rashid Khan. He got rid of Rana, but it's one thing to get rid of Rana. It's another thing to get rid of the most in-form bat. That's the wrong one, isn't it? He's just played down completely the wrong line, not picked it, and clang off. Down goes the off stump.
Beautiful delivery.
Beautiful bit of bowling, and we have new favourites yet again with because Rizvi was the informed batter of this competition. Make no mistake, and now they're going to have to once again dig themselves back into a game. So they were 100 for 1, looking absolutely fine, and now they're 100 for 3.
Again, slowed it up ever so slightly. The Rashid bowling once again in the mid 80s to early, not even early 90s, mid 80s to late 80s. Fantastic bowling speeds there. Well done, lad. Well done. But I still have DC favorites because they've got KL there. And KL, if he decides to hang in there and win his side the game, he is winning his side the game. As simple as that.
So Washington's come into the attack now at the other end, which I think is a good move. They're saving Prasid for the end, and David Miller has come in ahead of Stubbs, ahead of Axar. I think I would have pushed Nigam up the order here and let him have a whack, because if they can have a big over again here, they're right back in front. As it is, they need 11 and over. KL has climbed into Washington's first ball. It has gone to the moon and away for 6. It's gone more long, and it's gone long enough. What a shot.
I'm assuming it was a slot ball there. Let's see what happens. Washi, come on, man. Come on, bowl fast. And we'll see what you do.
And now Delhi are favourites again. He's had 3 really, really good footwork there from KL. The high intent KL is such a good player. I want to see a lot more of him.
That's true. I mean, he's really gone and taken the attack to the bowler. It's not like he was waiting for a slot ball or something. He just converted into a slot ball. By the way, very quick from Washi. We've been talking about bowling speeds. He's bowled it at 101 clicks, which is not usually something we see with Washi. Not sure what was the reason to dart one in, but yeah, KL's up to the task. Probably he did see him step down the track and try to bowl one quick and fast to beat him for pace, but yeah, well done.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Miller does here, because he's a very slow starter these days, David Miller. And I'm not sure the right way to knock these runs off is by taking it deep, because they're almost certainly going to save Prasid now till the end. I don't think they will save Rash. I think they will just try and get another one with him soon enough. But they're going to have to bash 2 overs of Prasid at the end. I'm not sure that Miller getting to what he likes to do, which is be about 12 off 12, is the right answer. But I think he will push it around. But when KL is suddenly going at strike rate 250 since his muckabout at the start, but how an innings can change. I mean, Rizvi's shown us that a couple of times this season already, where he's been like 2 off 9 and 3 off 10 or whatever he was in the second one, and then ends up belting it everywhere. Rahul looked, by his standards, pretty rubbish at the start of his innings. And if Phillips had run instead of done a swan dive, he might have gone by now.
I guess it's probably that chance that's made Rahul be like, you know what, I've been given the license to just go for it. Oh, well bowled, yeah, well bowled. Basically, how Arshad Khan was considered an all-rounder in Gujarat Titans because he got a 50 against DC1, says Gyandev. I'm guessing this is in response to what Rob had to say about Akil Hussein's batting a while back. So fair shout, Gyan.
Yeah, this
Is that a cat meowing somewhere in the background?
There's a tree outside my office, right? That's absolutely full of birds, and they don't half make a racket. There was I was doing a watch along once from Jared's house, and his office is in like a room in his garden, basically one of those. And there was a tree next to that, and there was I can't remember what animal it was. It was either a cat or a squirrel trying to catch a bird, and I just stopped talking about the cricket for 10 minutes and talked about that because it was really, really good fight. But no, I can't actually see the tree, which is annoying, but I can hear those bloody birds all day.
I've had such episodes myself, so I understand that. Wait, where are you based in the UK though, Rob?
I am about 25 minutes from Old Trafford, near Manchester, not far away from there, that kind of area.
Geez, what are you saying? My sister's also not too far from Old Trafford. She stays in Anchorage. If you know where that is.
Nice bit of the country.
Yeah. Oh,
you
lovely.
can almost guarantee that it will rain in any given day, even if it's blazing sunshine. It will rain in 10 minutes. But other than that, it's fine.
Yeah. The joke was when I was at her place, I told her I want to go to Old Trafford. She had no clue what Old Trafford is. And you could see Old Trafford from her balcony. And I was like, oh my God, you're my sister. You at least know something about sport. So, yeah.
It's a very strange cricket ground, Old Trafford, isn't it? With the temporary stands and everything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Still fun though, fun vibe. Was there for the Test match last year, the India-England one.
Oh, were you? I'd have been there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, nice. Saw a lot of shenanigans there, so that was fun.
Yes, one thing English crowds are into is they don't mind having a few beers during the game, do they?
What I have is a few
first 10
beers.
ball numbers here.
Yeah, yeah. What you lads have is definitely not a few. What I have is a few. That's more than a few.
Right, I'm trying to run David Miller's first 10 ball numbers in T20s because he's slowing down. So his strike rate in the first 10 balls is 113 and it's going down. And that is not what they need here. They don't need to suck the impetus out of the innings. They need to keep going. So that means basically he's going to be about 11 off 10, which is what he tends to be. Which, if KL keeps going, is absolutely fine, because if you've got a set Miller at the end, it doesn't matter who bowls, you're in trouble. But considering that Stubbs has done it twice, shepherded these chases home with Rizvi, I am surprised that they haven't let Stubbs do it again, because Miller wanted to come out and bat last time, and the coach or whoever it was ran down the stairs and rugby tackled him, didn't they? And said, no, not you today, son. As he's had a swing and a miss against Ashok, who is back now. Again, this is like a gamble over, I think, from GT, who are basically saying, we know that Miller's not going to whack right now, so we're going to try and burn through an Ashok over. And so he's had a big swing at him there and missed it. Let's see if Ashok can get him or tie him up. I quite like
Go for it.
I quite like the move, just giving him some extreme pace at the start of his innings, and say, look, if you're not going to play any attacking shots, you're going to have to cope with this, and you ain't going to push this around. This, he's 90 miles an hour plus, isn't he, when he gets going?
Yep, for sure. Also, how much of that move of sending in Miller ahead of Stubbs was down to Miller? He's really upped his game versus spin in the last few years. Rashid was already in the middle of a great spell. Washi also came in later, so they were trying to sort of counter Rashid's threat with Miller, but GT I think have been very smart here. They've immediately removed Rashid off the attack. They've given him raw pace to deal with, so that way they can save Rashid's over potentially for someone like a Stubbs, who himself is no muck against spinners or anything. But do you think there's any merit in that?
Let me have a look, because it's whenever I have those thoughts, I'm like, right, let me see how good he is against spin, and let me see how good he is against pace. And Miller, this is running from, he's actually pretty good. Running from, let me get his IPL numbers and his T20I numbers from 2023, that'll do. So from 2023, after 2023, Miller is really good against spin, as you say.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, good shout. He's improved a lot, because I had his career numbers in front of me first, and they're much worse than what they are now. So he's about 130 against seam and 146 against spin. And as we know, Miller is one of those, Baron will tell you, what does he call him? A finishing anchor, where basically he takes, bloody hell, Ashok's nearly missed the cut strip there. They might check for the no ball here. I think they're actually checking for the no ball for missing the cut strip. At best, it's a wide. He's lucky to get away with it. It's one of those that's bounced like 3 times before it's got to Butler. It's that wide. I think he might get away with it, but my word, that's a bad delivery. And that one is an attempted slower ball, maybe, gone completely wrong.
He's got a back of that slow one. Was that it?
Wide.
Yeah.
62 miles an hour that ball was, 100 kph.
Attempted slow ball bouncer there. Unfortunately, completely losing the plot. But
yeah, he got that one.
Not lost. Yeah. Meanwhile, Richard B8380 asks, Rob, do you remember the Lock Stock TV show? Wait, there's a TV show on Lock Stock. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was bad. There was one where they were I think they stole a horse and they were like doing the Shergar. I think they were swapping identities of a horse and they were painting it or something. Richard, message back and let me know if my memory's playing tricks. But I'm sure there was one where I think they stole a horse and then painted another one and tried to put it in the same race or something. And it was like every show there was a different scheme or a different, they were getting into trouble or something, right?
Okay.
I think one of the guys in it ended up being like an EastEnders actor for like 20 years. EastEnders is a really rubbish, what do they call it? Soap. They have soap operas.
Got it.
England. How people can get into those, I don't know. But yeah, Lock, Stock, the TV show is not something that I thought I would be talking about on a IPL Watchalong, but I'm very glad I am.
But about that, there is an Indian movie. There's an Indian remake, and of course, it's been ripped off of Lock, Stock, and everything. But it's not completely ripped off as well. They've just ripped off the second half, the whole climax bit, and just taken it broadly. But there is an Indian movie made on Lock, Stock. So
wow, okay. I bet that's fun.
It's fun in its own way, but I wouldn't necessarily call it fun. But there's an Indian movie on Snatch that's completely ripped off Snatch. That's so bad. It's so bad. The joke is I saw the Indian movie first, and then I saw Snatch much later in life. I was like, wait, Snatch ripped off this Indian movie. Guy Ritchie, come on, man, the original. Only to realize, oh, good lord, that's not the case. Not the case at all.
Yeah, what a great film Snatch is.
Yeah, amazing. I love Snatch. I genuinely do love Snatch. By the way, speaking of British shows, I don't know if this is British or a bit more Irish because I know one dude's Irish. Have you heard of the show called The IT Crowd?
Heard of it, not watched it.
Oh, man, that's brilliant.
His surname escapes me. What's his surname? Richard?
It's an Irish name. It's some... Wait, let me tell you. The IT Crowd.
Richard
Chris
Ayoade.
O'Dowd.
Yeah. He's a very funny man.
Yeah.
So there's a
Damn
program over here. I think they do it all around the world, actually. It's called something like Last Comedian Standing or Last Laugh or something. It's basically a load of professional comedians in a room for 6 hours and they're not allowed to laugh, but they spend the whole time trying to make each other laugh. It must be called something better than what I've just called it. Last Laugh, maybe.
There's an Indian version of this as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
That is the English one of that. I watched myself and my wife watched the last couple of series of that, and it's really, really funny. Watching pro comedians trying to make each other laugh whilst not being allowed to laugh is very good.
But do watch the IT Crowd as well. This show that you spoke about, there is an Indian version of it as well. Full and Final is the movie, of course, Ashish, you're right. And
They've gone back to Prasid early, which I am very surprised by. I really am. So this is a death over being taken away now. He goes full toss first ball and KL hits it into the deep for a single. But this is a big gamble from GT. And I'm not sure whose decision this is, but basically this is about a 50-50 game at the moment. GT are actually slight favourites, but for me it's about a 50-50 game this, and I don't think they need to bowl Prasid right now because Miller isn't doing anything. So Miller's just getting a run of ball whoever he faces right now, and he's just happy to prod the ball around for singles. You may as well let one of the other bowlers do that, because unfortunately for GT they're going to have to find overs out of people that aren't bowling very well so far. Like Washington was okay. They're going to have to find overs out of people because you don't really want Siraj bowling 4. And Miller has just pummeled Prasid away, which is huge. Looks like he's hurt his hand doing so for 4. So short ball, badly directed from Prasid. Miller hasn't got it at all. It's a 1 bounce 4 in the end. But then he immediately took his glove off, David Miller, as if he'd hurt himself.
I mean, I feel with Prasid here, the idea is to try and sort of get rid of KL Rahul as soon as possible, just to have 2 new batters and then potentially use some of the lesser proven bowlers, so to say. But yeah, Miller's gotten a boundary, so not sure to what extent will it work. Meanwhile, Hertz manager has a super chat for us. Akshay, a great job with Women's Cricket Central. Thank you so much, buddy. Rob, How is betting in the 100 different from the IPL? Different inefficiencies to target?
Yeah, well, it's like everything. You have to find angles where you can beat the market, and fixed odds wise, the bookies aren't very good at setting prices. They're quite easy to beat, but you have to look for patterns and look for how teams approach things, and you tend to find that certain teams go absolutely all guns blazing in the power play and other ones build into it. So you have to do the T20 parallel, you have GT who have got Sai and Shubman Gill just trying to get fours and ones and twos in the power play, and then you've got Jaiswal and Suryavanshi, and Suryavanshi is hitting a six better than every 5 balls in his IPL career, right? He's a complete monster. Different ways of doing things, so that's what I would look out for that. I am no judge on the 100 though compared to T20s, because I haven't watched enough of it. It doesn't interest me. I don't like it. I think I don't like the concept. I don't like the idea. I don't like how they've executed it. The only good thing for the 100, I would say, is that he's done a lot for the women's game. The women's 100 is very good. It's a good product. It's well marketed. It's really good for families. And when they do the double headers, they do the women's game first and then the men sometimes. That's really good for the women's game. And I think it's a great day out for families. They do, I know families near where I live that go to it, and they have concessions for the kids and all that sort of thing. Getting kids into cricket, brilliant. But as far as watching, the 100 is a load of old crap, as far as I'm concerned, in men's game. The men's game absolutely doesn't need it. It doesn't need another format. And 2020 is killing it. I don't like the T10, but the 2020 is killing it. And there's loads of it everywhere. So why on earth England, who have a good T20 competition, the T20 Blast provides us every year with Finals Day, which is one of the best days of cricket the whole year. Yeah. 3 T20s in one day. Yes, please. With context. But now what they do is they play the group stages when it's raining at the start of the year, and then they play the final in bloody October when it's raining anyway. Like, they're trying, the ECB in their infinite stupidity are trying to bury the T20 Blast, which has been a historically very, very good and entertaining tournament, in preference of the 100, which is a load of old crap. And speaking of a load of old crap, Prasid has just bowled one right into the slot, and KL, who is now mega intense Super KL, has just said, well, if you're going to bowl that to me, I know what to do with those, and it's gone away for 4. And the market, somebody's going to have to tell me why here. Why is the market so very anti Delhi Capitals here? Is there rain coming or what?
Nah, there's no rain expected, and either ways, I think DC is ahead the pass score.
Gotta be.
Ahead of the DLS pass score.
They need what, 11 and a half?
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah,
this is why. Because David Miller's retired hurt. That's why.
Is he going off the field?
Miller's retired hurt. So that's why the market's moved, because that's the same as a wicket, basically. So I said that when he hit that 4, he was shaking his hand as if he'd really hurt himself. He obviously did. I don't know why, because it looked like the 4 must have come off the bat, but has he dislocated a finger or something?
Could be the case, or probably hit the bat high up, so it sort of, the vibrations, it tends to hurt at times. But not sure what's happening.
That's not enough to go off the pitch, is it? It looks to me like he might have dislocated a finger, in which case a physio's got to put it back in for him and tell him to get on with it. Yeah. But so what they've done is, rather than replace Miller with a younger version of himself, which is Tristan Stubbs, they've replaced him with Axar, which is a completely different bat. They need 81 from 42. Rashid Khan has come back in to bowl at Axar, who's played like a semi-helicopter to get off the mark for 1. So I was wondering why the market was going nuts, and then we saw David Miller walk off, so they knew quicker than me.
Also,
go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. No, go for it. You can finish your point. Loads of bollocks. Hertz manager, just to add to what Rob said about the 100. This is more of an outsider perspective, because Rob, of course, would know a lot more of it being in the country. I do agree that it's done a lot for women's cricket, but I think it has less to do with the format itself. The format, from what little I could understand while speaking to the cricketers themselves, it didn't seem like a format that the players themselves were really looking forward to, because, like Rob said, there are enough formats already that they have to think about. Adding another one is not something that even they want. what's really worked in their favor is the fact that there's such a clear dearth for quality franchise leagues in women's cricket. So that's really worked in its favor. But I was a huge fan of the Kia Super League as well for women's cricket. Unfortunately, that's no longer there. And I'm really hoping all these IPL franchise owners, they are somehow able to convince the 100 committee that, you know what, let's switch to the T20 format. Let's sort of try and bring everything under one format so that it becomes easier for teams to, or for players to switch between each of these leagues and all of it. So I agree with Rob on the format itself for sure.
Yeah, get rid of it. Get rid of the 100 today. It's crap.
Yeah. Same teams as make your T20. I'm not even saying get rid of the tournament altogether. While Fielding Miller got injured, says Aviral. Oh, thanks for that. Don't remember seeing it, but all right. Thank you so much. This is directed at me, so I really want to address this. The Lone Quester says, Akshay always talks about shows in these watch-alongs. Last time he was acting like he didn't know Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, etc. And now it turns out he knows all of these obscure comedies. I never said I don't know Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad. You've clearly mistaken me for someone else, Mr. Lone Quester, or Mrs. Lone Quester. I don't know Game of Thrones. I don't know Breaking Bad. I'm not sure where are you getting that from, but yeah, that's definitely a load of bollocks for sure.
I've never seen Game of Thrones. I've got no interest in dragons and costumes and all that.
Oh, high five on that. Neither have I. Neither have I seen. I hate all of that.
Axar's hit one straight up and has been well caught this time by Phillips. Phillips proves that he can be really good in the field. So Rashid Khan, the big danger, has tossed one up. Axar's gone fully after it. And that is what Glenn Phillips should have done to get rid of KL, is watch the ball, run really fast, and then caught it. Yeah, he's executed that catch very, very well. And once again, a match that was being chased reasonably comfortably is now...
Was that shot?
They look massively under it now, don't they? So Axar probably just decided he was going to take Rashid Khan down, which, to be fair, is probably the best way to play him. But he's been the biggest threat by a million miles in this innings. So to burn his own wicket there is a big call from Axar. He's gone after him when he's not faced any balls and he's perished. So I guess we now go to Stubbs. But the thing is, right, they lost Rizvi, who is their big find this season. Miller has now retired hurt. Must be something properly up with him if he's had to leave the field. They're now left with Stubbs, who has very little behind him. You've got Vipraj Nigam, who can definitely play, but he's more of a, in my head, I don't know him that well, you might be able to correct me here, actually, but in my head, he's somebody that is more likely to just have a bit of a slog rather than construct an innings for you. Is that fair?
He does bat at number 4 for, his state side. So he is a proper batter. Unfortunately, because of, how DC functions, he doesn't get opportunities up the order. He can handle himself more than enough for sure.
Okay. Well, they've gone Stubbs obviously now, but what a great spell from Rashid Khan. 4 overs, 3 for 17. That is old school, brilliant Rashid Khan. And for GT season, that is a massive thing to have back.
Just 1-4, by the way. Just 1-4 conceded in that spell. Not a single ball just one ball that went more than one run, essentially. No double, no triples, nothing conceded. It was just singles and dots throughout. So, yeah, fantastic spell. Once again, I might sound like a broken record, but do watch the speeds he bowled at today. Everything under 90, that's really worked for him tonight. Even the ball that he got Akshay Patel on, 84.3. Once again, slowed it down, attempted a googly there. Gave the ball some time, gave the ball some air time, importantly, and that's what's really done the trick on this surface. I'm not going to say Rashid should just start slowing throughout. On this surface, you need to do something like that because the surface has clearly got some assistance for spinners. So, well done, Rashid. Well done.
Yeah, I don't know whether subbing out the only other guy that might have bowled some spin for them other than Washington in Shahrukh Khan, they may be thinking we could have had an over or two out of him with the Pacers getting belted. But anyway, Rabada's back in now.
Yeah.
Market very heavily in favour of GT, as you might expect. Basically, these two are going to have to do it, pretty much.
Yep. The ball was there to be hit as well. Rahul, I think Rahul's missed out on that one. Sure, it was a wide, but he could have easily picked it up for the 6. Is Brevis better than Stubbs? Who's got more upside? Asks Andy. Rob?
probably in T20 cricket, probably Brevis, because he can do the freak innings. I mean, I watched his 170 odd in South Africa once, and I was like, bloody hell, this kid's got a hell of a lot. He was in a small ground or a really good pitch. Brevis has guns that Stubbs doesn't, I think. But we've all seen Stubbs whack it. How easy is that for KL straight down the ground?
Lovely.
Rabada is really, really struggling here, and he needs a wicket right now. And he ain't going to get one.
Not if he's going to bowl there, for sure.
Yeah. So KL looks like he can get as many as he wants, and 100 is absolutely there for the taking now for KL. And Stubbs is very good at just sticking around with people. However, they need more than 2 a ball. So I don't, Stubbs hasn't got time to do 10 off 10 unless KL is going absolutely berserk. But yeah, to answer that question, I would say Brevis, but Stubbs, very, very good player. I think with Stubbs, he's only 25. He's had quite a complicated career so far because he's been asked to do all sorts of different things. He's only like 3 years older than Brevis, but he's been up and down the order. He's captained teams. He hasn't captained others, and he's had a lot of stuff to do. But Turbo Brevis is a proper joy to watch, isn't it, when he gets going?
True, that's true for sure. Meanwhile, Vinod says Dragons in Game of Thrones is just props. It's actually a high-intensity political drama. I mean, if I want to watch a political drama,
even more boring. Like, at least Dragons are fun. I've got no time for politics. I couldn't care less about that. Breaking Bad all day long, no politics, just loads of fun.
No, but if you do want to watch a political drama, there's this show called The West Wing. It's not available anywhere, but fantastic show. Yeah.
No politics for me for any reason. Thank you very much. That was like the early KL in his innings. His hand came off the bat there. He played.
Yeah.
That's his first slog for a while, and maybe the asking rate is just getting these bats out of their comfort zone a little bit here. But they've seen off the biggest threat, and they've seen off most of Prasid, and Rabada has just cut Stubbs in half there. He's tried to attack him and failed.
That's what's probably working against GT, because like you said, they've got just 1 over of Prasad left, and they've got 5 more overs to bowl. So who are they going to get the other 4 overs out of? That's definitely a question they'll have to find answers to soon.
Yeah, this is really, really interesting, this chase, because there's a hell of a lot of cricket to be played here, and it's how they shuffle the pat. Rabada's got out of that over really well in the end, actually. He'll be feeling a lot better about things.
The last ball goes for a single, dot ball?
Dot ball, so he finished that over with 2 dots. So he got carted first ball. No, he got wide first ball, then he got carted for 4, then single, dot, dot. So he got out of that over really well. So we're having a timeout. Why do you call yourself a fan of comedy if you haven't seen the film Planes, Trains and Automobiles, actually? What are you doing with your life?
I mean, it's hard to say why haven't I seen it. I'd never even heard of it before today. So
oh my God.
Yeah. Like I said, my only exposure to I can't believe you have that handy. Oh man, that's impressive. Oh jeez.
That's the right one. Go and watch it today.
I will. I am a huge fan of comedies. The only reason I will this long time, like colleague or something. Wait, let me tell you what that guy's name is.
Martin Short, probably.
Martin Short, yeah, that's the one.
I haven't seen it. No, is it good?
Yeah, it's damn good. The first couple of seasons were really good. After that, it sort of gets a bit repetitive, but it's still worth a watch. It's nothing that would make you sort of go back and say, yeah, I don't watch it. I would still watch it for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Steve
talking
Martin,
about Suits.
80 Steve Martin was incredibly funny, like incredibly funny. And I think it's his best film. But the guy with him, who's one of my favourite ever people, there's all sorts of posters of John Candy around in my office. I'm not going to move the camera because whenever I do, I break it. But yeah, John Candy is my favourite comedy actor. This guy, he's absolutely amazing in that film, and the two of them together are like at their comedic peaks. Yeah, you got to watch it, man. There's been 103 million pounds traded on this one market. Who will win this match? And it thinks this incredibly efficient market. I'll be interested to hear what your the predictors that you look at think, because the exact correct answer of how likely Gujarat are to win this game now is 71%. That's how likely they are to win the game. What do all these silly predictors think?
Cricinfo says 77.68, which is basically what it
Fair
was
enough.
at even then. Yeah.
Not far off.
Crick Buzz, let me check. Crick Buzz is at 86%. Ooh,
Okay,
that's a
bit
lot,
strong.
man.
It's a bit
I
strong.
think I'm more at 55-45, and I still don't think this is GT's game to lose or anything. DC are very well, it's very well within their reach to watch something. I mean, to sort of go for this. I'm very surprised. All right. Oh, Amo asks.
69 off 30 is a lot.
I wouldn't say it's a lot because, I mean, I agree it's a lot in absolute terms. But if you look at the bowlers coming in, you've just got 1 over of Prasid to contend with. You've got a couple of overs from the likes of Rabada, Ashok, you've got Siraj. All of them can be bashed for sure. And under pressure, they can be put under pressure fairly easily. So, yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, first ball back after the break is Ashok to KL, and you would have to fancy KL in this battle now. And he's bowled halfway down the pitch, and KL has just seized on that so early, so easily for a 4, and the market begins to believe the other way again. Fun game, this. Really, really interesting chase.
Yeah, an interesting chat. I'll shamelessly take this question. Amu901 asks for recommendations. Indian comedy recommendations. Rob, have you watched any Indian movie period?
Only so quite a few when I was a kid that I didn't really understand, so I can't claim those. I watched the Dhoni film on a plane. I watched that. That was really funny. That made me laugh. I don't think it was meant to be a comedy, but it really made me laugh. The Dhoni film.
Funny is how you put it. Bad is how I would put it. It was ranked bad.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But I am not at all knowledgeable about Indian cinema. I'm afraid it's not something that gets shown much over here. It used, like I say, it used to when I was a kid. It was on telly quite a lot. I've watched quite a lot of, by accident, I've watched quite a lot of like 5 or 10 minutes of Indian soap operas, because some of the cricket channels that I've got show soap operas when it's raining, so I've seen quite a few of them, but I have no idea what's going on because there's no English subtitles, so it's just but they seem like they're having a lovely time whenever I turn it on. There's all sorts going on, but no, I would not do very well at a quiz about Indian film or TV, that's for sure.
Then I would happily give you recommendations. It's like how you told me to watch Plane, Trains and Automobiles. I think there are a couple, more than a couple for sure to watch. Like Hera Pheri is probably a name that comes to mind. It's supposed to be one of the most iconic Indian comedies. So it's again, It's a slapstick. It's like a comedy of errors set up in Mumbai. So it's very funny. A lot of things going on and characters going awry and everything. So it's great fun. Hera Pheri is a movie I would highly recommend. Oh man, I don't know how many names. Yeah, let's start off with one. Let's probably just keep to one for the time being. You guys watch this, and
you have to send me the name. By the way, we've just had a 5. There was a 5 yesterday, and we've had a 5 again. Ashok's tied. I think he's gone slower ball Yorker, and Stubbs has blocked it. Right, so the net result of that should be a dot ball. Instead, Ashok misfields it. It goes to the close fielder. They nick a run. I think it's Rashid Khan, or it might be Shubman Gill. I can't. Yeah,
Shubman Gill.
Shubman Gill, right? Who has picked up the ball. KL's in by miles anyway, so he doesn't have to. Absolutely nailed middle stump, and it's just propelled off middle stump and shot away for 5, which is a huge difference in the game. A dot becomes a 5.
Exactly. That was a good ball, and no reason for it to cost Ashok 5 runs.
And the next ball, KL, I think he's dropped, but has scored another 4 anyway. Slot ball, slogged. No, it's not carried. I think it's Sudharsan again down there. It's so hard to pick out who these fielders are on the tiny stream that I've got. He's gone back of the hand, slower ball. It's ended up towards the slot. KL's got rid of it, but his heart's in his mouth for a minute. And then whoever that fielder is has come running in. It hasn't carried to him, and it's bounced and gone straight through him. So Ashok has had such an unlucky day. He could have had KL with his very first ball, and he could have easily had a dot ball that last ball, could have easily had a wicket and instead it just runs everywhere.
But that was some effort. I think I want to say that was Rabada, not Sudarshan, not sure. There was a back of the hand slow one. And yeah, Rahul really gives it a go. Who was it at long gone? That was Sudarshan. No,
I think it was Sudarshan, yeah.
Yeah, it was Sudarshan. It was.
They're now having a review for a no ball off the next. So it's all happening here. We're having a review for a no ball for height. So Ashok has bowled an accidental beamer there. But it's not. I don't know. It's close.
Didn't seem that dangerous. Yeah. Not sure.
It wasn't dangerous. No.
Yeah. Meanwhile, someone says Hera Pheri is copied from the UK. No, it isn't copied from the UK. You're referring to its sequel. So Hera Pheri, the movie I referred to, Rob, they made a sequel off of it, and it's the story for the sequel has been taken off of Lock Stock.
Okay.
So it was very bizarre, but the original movie is still very good. It's a rip-off of a Malayalam movie. I won't sort of bother Rob with the details. It'll just complicate things unnecessarily. Yeah, I don't think Rob is in here trying to understand the origin story of an Indian comedy that he probably wouldn't watch. So that's all right. Well done.
No ball not given, by the way. I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not sure that the shot was any good anyway. It was kind of a defensive shot played to the full toss on middle stump.
I think somewhere he was probably taken aback. He wasn't expecting something like that. 150
quick, isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly. It's nowhere near a no ball. Anyway, on we go. They need 54 off 26, which is a lot more doable than it was a minute ago. After the lucky 5, but England had the lucky 6, didn't they, in the World Cup final when did they give they gave 6 and they should have given 5.
Yeah. Interesting. Good to see a familiar dude. Pranav Anand says, great to see you after quite a long in a live watch along, bro. The Dana of I don't know why did I even read that, but thank you so much, Pranav. It's great to see you here as well. Meanwhile, we're still waiting for the review. I'm guessing the review's already done, but I'm slightly behind.
Yeah, we've had another ball since then. So he went slow ball again last ball and found the dot, which is huge. And fair play to Ashok after his really, really bad luck today to somehow get out of that over with 2 dots, which puts his team are now favourites because of those 2 dots. If one of those had been a boundary, they wouldn't be favourites. Like, this game is on a knife edge, and when it's close like this, every ball is really, really important, because I think the game within a game is, does KL get his 100? And I mean, it's absolutely there for the taking. But what he can't afford to do as Siraj comes back into the attack is take his time getting 100, right? If this is the first innings, KL will probably walk to 100 and just to get 100. He doesn't have that luxury, right? Stubbs is only 6 off 5. Who got the 5? Was it Stubbs?
Stubbs, yeah, that's what I was about to say. Stubbs really lucked out with that 5 because he's not looked the part at all.
Right, so Stubbs is really, really lucky to be 6 off 5. KL needs to keep whacking, right, and not worry about the fact that he's got 87. Remarkable bit of fielding to save a boundary here. I think this one's come off the toe. It's a wide full toss from Siraj, which actually isn't the worst ball. And it's spun away from Washington as the outfield is getting a bit damp, and he's done really, really well to readjust and make sure it didn't go for 4. They've hit loads of 4s. Usually, Gujarat are certainties to get the most 4s in their games, and they haven't today, which cost me some money, I'll tell you that. They've got plenty of 4s here. So KL's, that's 10 4s he's got, and Nissanka got 6 early. Siraj needs to earn his money here, right? This is why he gets paid the money that he gets paid. He's got to try and have an impact on this game and get his side a wicket. Stubbs isn't the big wicket here, but any wicket's big in this chase now. 52 off 23 they need.
What's the market saying right now in terms of odds?
So because it's now decent favourites GT because they haven't got a boundary for these last 4 balls. What are we? I'm just letting the market settle down here.
52 of 23. Stubbsy, come on, man. What have you got to show?
It's 63% GT is what we've got right now. And it's kind of at the stage where he's single so far off Siraj this over. This kind of is where KL needs a boundary. They need a boundary in the next two balls to keep themselves in with a reasonable chance rather than having to get very lucky.
The second ball was timed really well by Stubbs, though. I mean, he really creamed the ball, but straight to mid-off. So I do think somewhere there is a boundary waiting from Stubbs in particular.
KL lost his shape there, and he went for the premeditated like reverse flap over the keeper off the next ball and has missed it completely. And Siraj has gone single. That was lovely slower ball bouncer actually. And KL's threw the shot about half an hour before the ball gets to him. So he's single dot here, which is wonderful stuff from Siraj. And what he needs to do now is get out of this over. If he can get out of this over without conceding a boundary, so an enormous if he can, they are way in front here, GT. So he goes short ball again. KL plays a tennis ball shot, tennis forehand, goes straight to the fielder. Stubbs sets off for the single, which is there if he wants it. KL sends him back, and Stubbs has been run out. That is a really, really good piece of fielding. So good ball again from Siraj. It's come up here. KL's gone forehand smash. Not really got it anywhere. There probably is a single there if KL sets off, but he doesn't. He wants to strike anyway. Sends Stubbs back. Maybe sells him down the river a little bit, but Stubbs is run out and he will not be shepherding this chase home today. So it is all on KL because he hasn't got many partners to deal with this. And from what was after the 5 and then the 4, that's Sai Siddharthan who has done some really good things in the field today. That was great. Lovely bit of fielding. They are under it now. They need 51 off 21.
I'm not sure what was I most surprised by, your description of the run out or the actual run out itself, because the way you started off, I thought, okay, it's a boundary. Oh, no, it's not a boundary, probably a single. Oh, wait, it's a run out. Oh, my goodness. Jeez, that was a waste of a wicket, an absolute waste of a wicket. I'm not sure to what extent can I even fault Rahul there, because it seemed like Stubbs' call, and Stubbs really bolted for the single there. He was almost through to Rahul's end before Rahul could even take a yard. I mean, take a stride.
So David Miller's come back out. So this game's had everything as Siraj bowls a massive, great big wide. This game has had everything. So they need 51 off 20 now. And Miller is 12 off 10, has come back. So I guess, we have no commentary here other than ourselves. So we don't really know what's happened to Miller. I don't know whether he's had his finger put back in or he's had some ice on it or he's had an injection or what. But who cares? He's back playing again. And he kind of has to go from ball 1, even though it's ball 11, if you know what I mean. Just watching that run out again, really, really good fielding from Sai. He has got all 3 to aim at, but he's nailed the bottom of middle, which is where you should be aiming when you're fielding from there. But I think KL set off as Siraj bowls another wide. KL set off, and Stubbs was very committed to that run. So that's the 7th wide of the innings. I get it, what Siraj is trying to do early in Miller's second act, but he can't just keep bowling wide. He has to get one inside this tram line pretty soon. But just when one of these teams looks like they're running away with the game, the other one comes straight back, don't they? In this game, it's really, really fun game actually.
Yeah, I've enjoyed myself. I just hope it goes down to the wire and DC finishes with Dolphin style, because I'm wearing a DC jersey. Come on, guys! I want to be like Paul the Octopus. I want to be known for my ability to influence results just by wearing a jersey. That's all I want.
And yep, I don't think KL's got hold of the next ball, but after the wicket, they have he's just bowled one straight into the slot, and KL's gone after it, not quite got it, but it's another, about the 5th of the innings, I think, another 1 bounce 4, as Glenn Phillips obviously just comes in from nowhere, running 1,000 miles an hour for no real reason. So how many have we had off this over now? I'm losing count. It started off at
8 runs of the over. Yeah, we started off at 158.
8 off this. So basically, anything but a 6 here from Siraj. I really do think the 6 is coming here. Anything but a 6 here from Siraj, and he's done his job this over. He can't really take credit for the wicket, but let's see if he can get out of the over. He's steaming in now. He's bowled the ball wide. He thinks he's nicked KL off, and KL is walking. That is the game done. He's bowled wide, right on the wide line. KL's gone after it. Big slash, nicked off. Butler gobbles it up, and with it goes the game. And I said, this is where Siraj has to earn his money, and he has, because he's got rid of the set monster. KL was looking all ends up like he got 100, but that is right on the wide line, exactly where he's leaving this over since the wicket. And he's got the big fish, and that's it. How do they chase these? It's going to have to be a Miller special. What percent chance does the market give them now?
20% probably.
12% chance of knocking these runs off, because Miller's still there, and as we know, Nigam can bat. They're not dead, but wow, what a moment in the game! What a great over that was from Siraj.
Yeah.
Fair play to him.
Seriously, the last few overs have hardly gone for any runs. Like, apart from that Ashok Sharma over that went for like 16, they've just 24, 32 of the last 3 overs when the asking rates like near 15. Not enough, man. Not enough. Jeez. Someone says Rob is in Delhi. Wait, are you in Delhi?
I am not in Delhi.
I'm not sure why they think we are in Delhi. But all right, Rob, you were saying something.
Or if they think I'm on Delhi. No, I don't care who wins financially. It doesn't bother me. I've got nothing to play for financially, I'm afraid, on this one. I've had a really good IPL so far, but I've lost loads on this game because I assumed GT would get the most fours, and the bookies thought it was 50-50. So they've done me today. They've won this battle, but I will win the war. Yeah, who have we got? Who have we got left to bowl here? So Rabada's bowling now.
Rabada, Ashok, and Siraj, I would imagine.
Interesting
3 of them,
ball.
1 over apiece.
Siraj has definitely earned the right for another over, and Prasid Krishna will bowl the other one probably, won't he?
Oh yeah, of course. Prasid, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay, so 44 off 17 needed, and I like Virpraji's batting for the little I've seen of it. He had a couple of good knocks in the IPL last year. I was quite impressed. Let's see what he's got against Rabada when he has to go from ball 1. First one straight up in the air, not carried to the fielder. It's gone between 3 fielders that, and they've scampered back for the second. I say straight up in the air. It wasn't really. It was
exactly. I'm slightly wary of your description now, because in my I was like, when he said straight up in the air, that's out.
It's gone to deep point, and it looked like he'd edged it behind square, but it's basically gone in a straight line to deep point, and there's nobody there, and 3 fielders converge, and he scampers back for 2. Yeah, they're still in it, but they need slightly more than 2 a ball. But two a ball will do for now, won't it?
Yeah, I mean, they would take 2 over the dot or a single for sure, but they need boundaries. Come on. Oh man, that wicket.
Next ball's the dot.
This happened time and time again with DC last year too. The games they lost, all of the games that they lost, they saw themselves in winning positions, and they lost it from there. So, Mumbai comes to mind.
Very good at that. Rajasthan were very good at that last year, losing really, really close games. I'll tell you who Delhi could have done with today, and that's Ashutosh.
Yep.
I think moving forward, they might have to make a big call, because Miller and Stubbs are essentially the same player, and there's 2 overseas taking up 1 role and 2 batting positions, and I don't think they need both. And particularly when you've got Ashutosh waiting. Obviously, they're going to have Stark at some stage, you'd think, as Rabada keeps his over going. But this time has been smeared away for a very lucky 4. Miller is trying to blast the ball over the... I don't know, maybe he is actually... He's just got it just wide of a fielder, through the gap and away for 4. I'm probably not giving Miller enough credit there. Maybe he's aiming where he hit it. It's gone over.
Also, they've not signed a replacement for Duckett yet, right? DC?
Did they not? Did they not do that early? Was Nasanka was already there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was already there. Somewhere, if they are able to bring in a decent number 3 and Rana goes out, then you can play both Samir Rizvi, Ashutosh Sharma, and also instead of Miller, then you can bring in a top order batter. If not Samir Rizvi, at least you'll have someone. I don't know who can. They can probably go back to someone like a Shai Ho, who didn't do too badly for them a couple of seasons ago, and he's been in great form off late.
Well, they've got Chimera, who I don't think they really need. They've got Jameson, who they definitely don't need, and him getting that. It shows how stupid teams are in the auction. He got absolute stacks, didn't he, for doing really well in a test match. It doesn't make any difference at all to how well you're going to do in a T20. Anyway, I think they need to get rid of probably Miller, which they won't. If Stark came back in, Ashutosh comes in, they can easily afford to carry on without Miller, and they can free up a space somewhere near the top for anybody like Perel, or they've got loads of batting cover, Delhi. I think they probably need to reshuffle the pack, because I'd be shocked if they win this game from here.
That's true.
They need 36 off 12. It'll be Siraj now, and then Prasid to ice it, won't it? So there's 4 wickets left. Miller's on strike. He's got to go all guns blazing against Siraj, and Siraj bowled an excellent over last time. If he bowls a half decent one here, his side's going to win. He basically needs to go for less than 16, and he's done his job pretty much, because that gives Prasid 20 plus to play with.
To see. Meanwhile, Unknown Nobody 9 also confirms that Nikhil Chaudhary is a part of the DC camp. That is true. I had also come across that. Rob, you've heard of Nikhil Chaudhary, the guy who plays for, I want to say, Hobart Hurricanes in the BBL?
Yeah. I've seen every single one of his BBL innings. I know plenty about him.
Lovely.
He's a very, very good bat. Good story, but he can bowl a little bit. He's a good fielder. He's a very good bat that can bat anywhere, really. I've seen him bat in multiple positions. I thought he had a good season this season. I had a load of money on him to be top Hobart run scorer at 16s or something, and he didn't quite get it. But he's a very good player. As Miller carts Siraj, I think, into the crowd, but the TV cameras have just cut away to a random shot of nothing, so I don't know. Short ball from Siraj that Miller is on in a flash. Yeah, that's a massive, great big 6. That is straight into the crowd. The game is back on. Another couple of them. So he's gone wide 6 is the start of this over.
Come on, Miller.
And Siraj, he earned his money in the last over, but he's given it all back now. He needs to earn it. He needs to just keep Miller quiet for 5 balls. So 7 off the first ball of this over. Said he needed to keep it below 16 to give Prasid the cushion. And Prasid will be thinking, well, what am I going to have to do this last over now if he keeps getting whacked everywhere? Really, really fun game, this. 29 off 11 they want.
A couple more 6s and yeah, the game's truly back on for Delhi. Nikhil Chaudhary will be playing as a foreigner, Amo 901. If he does get picked, that is. He is now an Australian, at least for cricketing purposes.
Miller's carved another one away. Siraj has gone wide. I think it's 4. Siraj has gone wide, but it's right in the slot. And it is, I think that might have hit the Toblerone on the full, I think that might even be another 6. This is good. Game on, ladies and gents. It was game off 2 balls ago, and now it is game on. I think this is 6. They haven't called it yet.
You think GTR slightly put off by Miller's... Oh, that's a 6. That's a 6. That looks like a 6. By the looks of it.
So we're now like, they chased this 1 in 3, and they were sort of 1 in 12, 1 in 14 2 balls ago. But the first 2 balls of this over, if this is a 6, which they still haven't given, it's Menon, isn't it, the umpire we're waiting for? If it's a 6, the first 2 balls have gone for 13 in this over, which is not the Siraj that we were talking about. I think they might have given this 4, which I only saw it once, but I was sure that hit the Toblerone ball. 4 given. That's a big call. I want to see that again. Siraj in again, straight in the slot. No look from Miller. 6 more. That is mental. So it's an awful ball from Siraj. He's totally lost his head here. He He found all his marbles in the last over, and Miller has just hit a Martin Guptill no-look mega six that is straight back over Siraj's head, which is just about to burst. Siraj has no idea what to do now. So beware the injured man who's come back from the dead. And Delhi are now favourites to win this game. And at the start of this over, they were 10-1 shots to win this game. What a wonderful game of cricket we've had here.
Lovely. In a way, it's also a reversion. Yeah.
It's going to have a hell of a lot to do it.
Another boundary of the last 3 balls, and it'll be great for Delhi. Just one more boundary of the last 3 balls, get 5-6 runs in total, and keep it to 12, 13, 14 of the last over. I think Delhi wouldn't mind that at all.
So this has been my criticism sometimes of Siraj in T20, is that when it goes well, he can be really, really good. But when it starts going badly, he disappears. Like his brain just totally fries, right? I've seen that a fair bit from him. Andrew Ty's a really good one of that in T20 cricket, who has played IPL. I think he might have even won a purple cap,
He did, 2018. He did.
And he was a very consistent wicket taker in the Big Bash. But if he has a catch drops off him early in his spell, or if he bowls a no ball that he doesn't think is a no ball, or a wide that he doesn't think is a wide, his brain breaks and he's just crap for the rest. And Siraj has been spanked, right? He picked the short ball up very early, did Miller early. And since then, he's bowled 2 utter pies. And if he bowls another one, they're going to lose this game. So the stream I'm watching didn't show me this ball, so I'm going to try and watch it on another one. He's gone really short and got away with it. And Miller has hit the ball away for a single.
Oh, okay.
So Vipraj, I think, has to have a free swing at this. They need 18 off 8. And it's 50-50 this cricket match, which is awesome. Could be here for a super over, actually.
Ooh, lovely. I'm all set for that. Seatbelt fastened. Let's see how that goes. Vipraj, I agree with you. It should be a bit of a free hit for him. Both these deliveries, in case the first one's a dot. And he would be hoping to connect at least one of them. 18 of 8, once again. Just one boundary off these 2 deliveries. And that's what Delhi would still be looking for. Because 16-17 of the last over, I would still say the scales are slightly tilted in GT's favour. They would want to keep it under 15.
Siraj in. Slot. Bit too short. Brilliant shot. Over the keeper. He's just waited. Nigam there has waited for the ball. He's dropped it too short and he's just ramped it straight over the keeper's head. 1 bounce ball. Wonderful shot. They're going to win now. This is what a throwaway this has been from Siraj. He bowled a superb over the over before, which only went for 8, and he got the big fish in KL. The last ball he bowled before this over, he got KL Rahul out for 92. And he's come back in this one and gone wide 6, 4, 6, single 4. And they're pretty much done. He has to bowl a ball that goes for less than 2 right now. He has to bowl a ball that goes for less than 2. A single is not too bad because it means Prasid gets to bowl at Vipraj. A boundary is probably terminal. Let's see what he's got in his locker, because he's had a shocker this over, Siraj. Let's see if he can pull it back slightly. He's followed the bat, who's ran away to the leg side. Done okay there. He's got out the over just about. Single. So Vipraj is going to be on strike to Prasid with 13 required off 6. And it ain't far off a 50-50 game again, actually, this.
Yep. Well, the last over went for 19 runs over here. Well done, man. Well done. Much needed over this for them. Not even 19, sorry. It's gone for 23 runs. I missed the 4 there. Massive over. Oh, the last ball was probably there to be hit, but I get it again. Pace on, full toss. It's hard at times.
Yeah, Vipraj had backed all the way to leg because he wanted to ramp it over the keeper again.
Yeah.
So, to be fair to Siraj, he followed him. But 1 good ball out of 7 there from Siraj. Not good enough. Okay, well, this is it. I mean, what a wonderful game of cricket this has been.
Finally.
GT left 10 or 20 runs out there when they batted, and I bet they wish they had them back now. So Prasid, their main bowler, of this season anyway. Obviously, Rashid Khan has certainly staked his claim to have that title back again today. Has been going around the park today. He's 1 for 41 off his 3 overs. So he's going for more than 13 and over. And he needs to go for less than 13 and over in this one if they're going to win this game, right? So the chances of this ball being a single in my head are extremely high because Vipraj is just going to... He can't afford to get out and he can't afford the dot. And basically, he's playing well enough to get the bat on the ball here. And I think his job really, if he gets a terrible ball, he should hit for 4 or 6. But if he doesn't, he's got to get down the other end and let Miller earn his money because Miller, after he was 12 off 10 when he walked off, and he's come back and he's 35 off 17. What a comeback that is.
That's true. The worst outcome here would be a wicket because that would mean Kuldeep Yadav on strike and we're not sure if he'll be able to rotate strike. So just a lot of pressure on Miller. As long as he doesn't give away his wicket, a single boundary, even potentially a dot is something Delhi can live with, but not a wicket right now.
Here comes Prasid.
Oh, the slow over penalty is on, says Pratham. Interesting. So only 4 fielders outside.
That's right in the slot. Right in the slot. And he's been sent straight back over his head for 4. Awful ball. That's not the first ball that GT have bowled in the slot today, but that is right in the middle of the slot. And Vipraj has hit the 17th 1 bounce 4 of this innings. I'll tell you what, if the Delhi boys had spent a bit more time in the gym, this game would have been finished 15 minutes ago because there's been so many 1 bounce 4s. He's not quite middled it, but he didn't need to. It was the exact ball that you want if you're a batsman like Nigam towards the end that's just got license to have a swat, right? It's the exact ball you want because he can completely free his arms. It's right in the slot. He doesn't have to move his feet. He doesn't have to do anything technically clever. He just has to mow through the line of the ball. And that's what he does, and he's 4, and they're huge favourites to win this now, having been dead and buried an over and a half ago. And they're having a big chat in the middle here. Miller's just saying to him, just do that again, mate. If you get another crap ball, put it into the crowd, and off we go. 9 off 5 is what they need now, Akshay.
Yep.
Potential game of the tournament stuff, this.
Oh, easily. By margin. I can't think of any other game that went down to the wire quite literally. I can't. Am I missing any game? GT Punjab maybe to some extent, but yeah.
The Deshpande save was very good.
Oh, that was good. That was actually good. That was RR versus, I want to say Punjab, was it? Oh no.
Here we go. In again, Prasid. Short ball. Smashed. High. Must be taken. Must be caught. Is caught by Shubman Gill. So they need 9 off 4. And they have Kuldeep coming in. So he's backed away to that short ball. Hammered it skyward, but it's gone up and it hasn't gone far enough. And it's a very easy catch for Shubman Gill, who takes it strolling backwards as easy as they come. So Vipraj goes for a well-made 12 off 7, but I think he's gone his hand across the ball again, Prasid. So he's
it was the cutter. Yeah. That also gripped and turned, by the way. And yeah, Vipraj only manages to get air time and not a lot of distance. Oh man. Even if this is a single and Miller's on strike, 8 of 3 is not easy. 8 of 3, I would still say, is Gujarat's game. Assuming Kuldeep gets a single. If he also bloody hell plays a dot or something, then yeah.
So what the thing I really like about Kuldeep's batting is the thing he doesn't need right now. He's so good at occupying the crease, Kuldeep.
Yeah, that's true.
Over 21. So he averages 42 balls an innings in Test matches, which is really, really good. That is doing a really, really good job for India. But his T20 strike rate is 85 for his batting. And what it needs to be today is 100. He should face 1 ball in this game and he should get a single from it. So in comes the bowler, Prasid with his tail up, having just got a wicket, wants another one. Is guided away very, very expertly. Very expertly. By Kuldeep, who's just used the pace of the ball to guide it down towards the fence. Third man.
Single?
Yes, please. Single.
All right. Perfect.
No, that was almost as if both of them agreed that the next ball would be a single. He said, listen, mate, this is where I'm going to bowl it. That's where the fielder is. just push it towards him. You get the one you need, and let's see if I can beat Miller or Miller can beat me. Because that's the game now, right? I don't think that Kuldeep will face another ball. This game is decided by who wins out of Prasid Krishna or David Miller. And David Miller has batted twice in this innings, and the first time he was rubbish, and the second time he's been absolutely amazing. So let's see what he's got. He's 35 off 17. He's actually, 23 off 7 since his resurrection at Easter time. And he needs 8 off 3 balls with Prasid at the top of his mark. And as usual, everybody's having a chat because why would you want to finish an exciting cricket match? You just want to stand there all day. Come on, lads, play the game. 8 is what they need.
Yeah.
In comes Prasid. Slot. Smashed. 6.
Oh, lovely, lovely. There you go, Killer Miller. Well done. Well done. Shabash.
Quick ball right in the middle of the slot. Miller doesn't have to move. The ball comes off his bat like it was fired out of a cannon. It has gone miles back, and the only way that GT can win this game now is by getting a wicket this ball. That's the worst ball he's bowled, I think, Prasid, and he hasn't had a good day today.
Oh, jeez.
Directly into the slot, isn't it? If you asked David Miller where he wanted that ball, he'd say exactly there, at exactly that pace, please. Can I have another? And he's gone from walking off looking like he'd broken his hand for 12 off 10 to being 41 not out off 18 and winning his side the game from nowhere. What a wonderful game of cricket this is.
Imagine if Miller gets out now, though. Yeah, exactly. If Miller gets out, that'd be perfect. 2 of the last ball with 2 tailenders in the middle.
95% to win this game they are. But he's still got to hit Prasid. He cannot afford to get out this ball. That's the only thing that he can't do is lose his wicket. A dot is fine. It's not terminal, but if he loses his wicket, they are in big trouble again. So we're not done yet. It's going to have to be somebody like Ungidi wanders out, needing 2 off 1 if he loses his wicket here. But basically, this ball has got to be a wicket if you're Prasid. So what are you bowling? Don't bowl slot. Don't bowl the slower ball into the slot. I don't know. What would you bowl here, Akshay? Or what would you tell him to bowl?
Is he done with his shorter ones? I would probably try and bowl a wide, shorter delivery and make Miller either cut over point or
here he comes. He's gone short. Miller has the easiest single in the history of mankind to tie the game, and he turns it down.
It's a dodge.
So he is saying. So I think he actually tried to bowl the cutter again into the pitch, and Miller has swung it away to basically to the square leg umpire where there wasn't actually anybody, and Kuldeep has made a run in there because he ran halfway down and halfway back. But the equation now, as the super over looms and it looms large, is 2 from 1 is required.
You know, I would have probably taken that single there. At least ensure that a loss is completely out of the way. Just take that single and trust Kuldeep to score a single of the last ball. I mean, I get why Miller has done that, but I would have probably taken the single.
It's a big call, but he's the guy with all the experience. He's the overseas. He's got millions of IPL innings as experience. And he is saying, I know I am going to get at least 2 off this last ball. Don't worry about it, mate. If he doesn't, it's a catastrophic call that he's just made to turn down that single. I don't mind it. He is hugely backing his ability there to say, no, mate, I don't want to let it over to you, Kuldeep, and we may only get a tie out of this. I want to win the game right now. But he is now backing himself to score 2 off 1 from Prasid. Lots and lots of people there would say you always take the single because you can't lose, and if Miller wants to, he can go in the super over if required. Anyway, let's see if he made the right call. It was a brave call. In comes Prasid. Down goes the ball. Miller's completely missed it. Now we're going to see if there's a run out. I think this is a run out. Prasid has won the game from absolutely nowhere, but the man that really won the game is Josh Butler, because that ball is turning off the deck towards Butler, who for some reason has kept his glove on, I think. He's standing miles back. He's gone underarm, skittles, middle stump. Kuldeep, who should have been 3/4 of the way down by the time that ball was released, has not run quick enough here. And Miller
Oh
Who
my
is South
word.
African, let me remind you, who needed 2 off 2 a minute ago, has decided he doesn't want to tie the game and give Kuldeep a chance to win it. He says, it's all right, I'll definitely get 2 off this ball. He's then completely missed the ball. Butler has got the ball, which has turned to him and taken it really, really well, and gunned the stumps down. And whilst all this mayhem is going on, nobody is showing us again whether or not he got home. I am pretty confident that Butler's nailed him here. But
Yeah, Menon's already signaled it out.
why Kuldeep wasn't 10 yards down the pitch by the time Prasad bowled that, I will never know, because he absolutely had time to get home. He should have been running, diving. I mean, he's not the quickest to catch at the best of times, Kuldeep, is he? But Miller made a very, very brave call to knock that single down a minute ago and go, no, I'm fine. I'll definitely get 2 off the last ball. Well, he hasn't. And they are praying that they get the tie that they were given for free 1 ball ago. I don't think he's home here. We're having...
Wait, 1 second. 1 second. The game is not done. The game is not done. I'm sorry to cut you off there, Rob. I think they're checking for the wide because this could potentially be the third bouncer. This could potentially be the third bouncer.
So we're reviewing everything. The market is in turmoil. Nobody knows what's happened. Everyone thinks Gujarat's won. I don't think that can be a wide. As Gargi says there, it is the best game, and more importantly, wow, because we still don't know who's won. We still don't know if it's won. There's all sorts going on here. Things are being reviewed. I would like to see whether he's run him out or not.
But that is above the shoulder, right?
Hey?
That is above the shoulder, right? So you can't bowl 3 balls above the shoulder. So they're checking for that. If it's above the...
No, I think this one needs to be above the head because he went slower ball before that was fine. I think this is...
I thought this was the third bounce. Okay, my bad.
Okay, we're waiting to see whether it's okay now. The ball is... The calculated decision is the ball is above the shoulder. What does that mean then?
Above the shoulder, so it should be a wide. Because if it is the third, like if the umpire already called 2 for the over, then this is the third one and that makes it a wide. I'm not sure though. Have they called 2 for the over? Oh my word. Like, why is there so much chaos?
The game is over.
Oh, okay.
The winners are Gujarat. And how the hell have Delhi thrown that game in the bin? Because they had a tie for free 2 balls ago. And Miller said, no, thank you. I would rather have the win and not risk the chance of going to a super over. Instead, he has missed the last ball of the game. And his mate, who had one job there, Kuldeep, was to basically run really fast down the other end, forgot to do it and took off way, way too late. We're going to watch the last ball again now. So really good ball, straight at Miller, missed it. I mean, I don't know how early Kuldeep set off, but it wasn't early enough. Butler, with the glove on, has gunned it down from 20 yards away, easy, and he's rolled it at the stumps. He hasn't just gunned the stumps down, he's rolled it underarm, straight along the floor, 3 bounces and hit the bottom middle, and Kuldeep, who is ball watching and not diving properly, is like this, trying to run his bat in whilst knowing that he's been run out. Ridiculous game of cricket. Butler should get all the plaudits for that. Firstly, he was right back with the bat with his 50 off 27. But Miller, who had 3 innings there, he had 1 innings where he was 10 off 12. Then he did something to himself, broke his finger or something, went off, came back, and was absolutely incredible for 21 off 8 or something. And then, crucially, he's 0 off 2 at the end. And that, ladies and gents, is the game.
This is such a GT coded win. Again, they had no business winning this game. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be piling on Miller here, but again, you need to learn how to minimize your odds. The focus has to be not just on winning the bloody game. It's to ensure that you don't lose the game. At least take it to the Super. Oh man, great thriller, but yeah, Delhi had no business losing this game. GT had no business winning this game. Prasad had an off day. Miller had a good day till then. Miller really has a lot of goals to bury, man. He's got a lot of goals to bury. The guy just can't get a bloody chase right now. It's sad. It's sad. It's genuinely sad. And we've got a last super chat before we finish it off and then move on. Okay, in hindsight, I guess there's no point discussing this. Trick Panda 691 says, I bet DC 200 plus when DC needed 69 of 30. Good call. Well, you know the result.
Well, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It was a good call, but Unfortunately, just to wrap it up, you can take the man out of South Africa, but you can't take South Africa out of the man. And that is the game.
This is hilarious, man. Absolutely hilarious. I still can't believe, and I know it all sounds good in hindsight, but they could have been slightly better there, but it is what it is. That's how the game rolls, and unfortunately, that means DC have suffered their first loss for the season. It means GT have registered their first win for the season. So that's that from this watch along. Of course, make sure you hop on to the review where we will be talking about the game and a lot more. And importantly, what we think is Ashish Nehra's plans when it comes to these bloody last over defenses that he somehow manages to nail time and time again.
Combox. The game lives on.